Minutes from a metamorphic rock that defines Surry County. We have a dynamic matchup of power programs here in North Carolina. The Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by West Shore Home, matches up the reigning state champions, the Mount Airy Granite Bears, whose last loss was to the home squad, the East Surry Cardinals. They look to pull the upset in Pilot Mountain. What a beautiful night for high school football. Alongside the former Denver Bronco, Matthew Gibson, I'm Evan Budrovich. What a difference in experience tonight. East Surry welcomes 20 new starters. Mount Airy brings the whole gang back from a state championship team. How does experience play a factor tonight?
Experience is a big factor tonight. The Granite Bears are going to come to town looking to use that experience over the inexperienced Cardinals, so we'll see what happens.
Meanwhile, East Surry, a loss in their opener. They have struggled against Mount Airy in the past, but how does East Surry get the win tonight and up the Granite Bears?
They're going to have to take a little bit of that revenge factor of just them being rivals to take it over and just say, hey, we want it more than you do.
There is one man who knows a lot about both of these programs, grew up in Pilot Mountain, and for more on him, we send it over to our sideline reporter, Dave Gorin.
And that mystery man's name is David Diamont, legendary coach in these parts. He coached both in Mount Airy, 2 stints there, and here at East Surry. Very successful. Who's he rooting for? Well, maybe this is a hint. His name is on the scoreboard here in Pilot Mountain. I'll ask him who he's rooting for. We'll have that answer when we come back here on My 48.
I will tee up. I'll read both, but then have Matthew just touch on one for each team.
All right.
We'll do those first. Okay. Welcome back to Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. Gearing up for kickoff. There's Coach Trent Lohman, and anytime these teams meet, the Granite Bears and the East Surry Cardinals, there's a ton on the line. But most importantly, we got to dive into our keys to this matchup because these clubs are totally different in how they want to win football games. Matthew, first and foremost for Mount Airy, how do they execute and dominate on the offensive side?
They just have to continue to do what they're doing good, offensively moving the ball and executing fast and running that football on the inside and the outside.
And then East Surry gave up 45 points in its opener. How do they fix that defensively?
Yeah, on defense, they just have to show up. They have to eliminate those big plays, get off the field quickly to give their offense a chance to make some plays.
And for Mount Airy offensively, this offense over 5,000 yards rushing last year. Mario Revel's a big piece of that offense. How does he carry the unit for the Mount Airy Granite Bears?
We were talking to Coach on Thursday. He said he's probably one of the best wide receivers on this side of the state. They have to get the ball in his hands and allow him to make plays.
It's not only an explosive athlete on offense, how about a Power 5 linebacker on the defensive side to complement Reynolds? Derek Dandy, what an athlete for this club.
What an athlete he is. He's put on some weight this offseason, has strong, explosive hands, and he likes to play physical. He is somebody to watch tonight.
Both those guys are two-way players, and that's the same for East Surry. At the 1A, 2A level, you'll have guys play on both sides. Stephen Keener, who's part of a long lineage of Keeners there in East Surry, what does he bring to the table?
Yeah, he's a dynamic wide receiver who knows how to get open. He knows how to find space in the field, so watch out for him.
We noted East Surry returning only one starter from last year on defense. There's the man, Hatcher Ham, the DB, and a captain. What can he do tonight for East Surry?
He is a leader on the field, and he will lead his team on offense and defense. He's a physical player that likes to bring the wood.
What a difference in experience, right? East Surry goes 12-1 last year, loses in the state tournament. Mount Airy runs the table. Mount Airy brings everyone back. East Surry, it's a lot of new faces, and Coach Trent Lohman said, we got to be up for this matchup tonight.
They have to be up for this matchup, and they have to grow up fast. Today is going to put them to the test.
An East Surry club that's actually defeated Mount Airy the last 4 times. They've had success recently. That'll make it ever more challenging tonight. There's Stephen Keener back to receive. And let's get this party started. Walker Strop, the kicker, the senior, to boot this one away, and we are underway from Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. It's a low kick that is bobbled by Fleming, and he barely gets out to the 15. Good tackle by the special teams unit. Tayshawn Martin, the talented sophomore, on the tackle. Here's our Cook Reynolds starting lineup. And certainly for East Surry, they elected to get the ball first. They want to score. They want to be explosive. How does Will Jones, number 30, and this offense carry East Surry tonight?
They have to start fast. They have to come out here and set the tempo on this first drive of this first play. Once they get those butterflies out, they're going to be able to really be in the focus on what they're trying to execute offensively tonight.
Keep in mind, Will Jones wearing number 30 tonight, but maybe his teammates were on the same page. There's an early false start for Keener.
Big rivalry game right here, getting a little jitters out. He's trying to move a little prematurely. Got to hold your water right there.
That's our lead referee, Ross Folger, with a busy crew tonight. So Will Jones, and then Keener, the returner at receiver, and Gibson, the returner at center. That's the continuity for this club.
Yeah, those two have a connection. If they can lead their respective units on this field, they'll have an opportunity to make some plays today.
But nowhere to go on first down. Look at that Mount Airy defensive line, anchored by J.D. Harper on the stop. And here's the Cook Reynolds starting defense. It starts with this D-line. Dandy, Floyd, and Harper, they're special.
Yeah, it starts up front. And if that front and that defensive line, if they can control the line of scrimmage, it's going to be a very long game for the East Surry Cardinals.
Keep in mind, Granite Bears, they jumped up 45-0 in the first half last week. Their defense was stout. Now on 2nd and long, here's a deep pass into no man's land. And that's onto the bench, setting up 3rd and long.
Yeah, I think that's some of that inexperience, though, to getting used to one another, that continuity trying to go. And he had the play, he had the wide receiver open, just wasn't able to connect on the pass.
And there's Trent Lohman, who has led 2 Boaz brothers, Jefferson and Folger, the last 5 years, to 3 state finals appearances. He knows how to run offense. Different story tonight with Will Jones, a quarterback.
Yeah, when you have a young quarterback who doesn't really have a lot of snaps at QB, it's a growing process for sure.
On 3rd and long, Jones is sacked. Good pressure coming in. And Mount Airy with a sack and a tackle for loss. There's Dandy for his first sack.
There's our guy. He's long. He likes to get in the mix. Watch out for him. He's going to be back there quite a few.
That's a Virginia Tech signee, and what a weapon off the edge.
Yeah, if you watch him coming off, just coming right off that blitz, way to get underneath the pad of that offensive lineman and get to the tackle. Low man wins the game.
Derek Dandy, 95 tackles last year. He's busy this season, and a deep punt from their own end zone. This is Josh Key. Very returnable for Mount Airy. And what excellent field position for an offense that has scored over 50 points last week in a win in week 1.
Yeah, that's great. If you are the Granite Bears starting on your own side of the 50, it's a great opportunity for you to put points on the board quickly.
Here's the senior quarterback returning after a state championship, Ian Gallimore. He's a left-handed pitcher on the baseball team. He's a stud quarterback, and he is calm, cool, and collected at this position. Yeah,
you see his poise out there, the way he takes command of the field right now. Just got there, cool, calm, collected, like you said, ready to run the play and execute.
Gallimore's younger brother is the backup quarterback, but Ian, the senior, runs the show here on 1st and 10. And And there's Mason, the talented tailback. Gets half the yards there on first down. Part of this Cook Reynolds starting lineup. Cook Reynolds running the smart way to get things done. 5,000 yards of offense last year, all centered right there with Tyler Mason, the senior tailback.
Yeah, Tyler Mason is a reliable back. They love to run the ball. They're going to put the ball in his hands a lot tonight. So be prepared to call his name quite a bit. 285
yards rushing for this unit. Reed and Mason and substitutes in the second half. It was a power running display. Working now on second and short. They'll get 5 extra yards.
And it's that inexperience starting to show. You got to watch the ball. Coaches always tell you that.
We've seen a punt from the end zone and an encroachment on the defense. How does East Surry calm their nerves in this first quarter?
They have to breathe. Just as simple as that. Just breathe. Remember, this is all football. You've been doing it since you was a child. So let's continue to just play football.
And Trent Lohman, East Surry's head coach, said our kids are like children out there. Only one returning starter on defense. There's a big learning curve.
It's a huge learning curve, but they're going to have to grow fast in order to be successful this year.
Now it's a 2nd and 3, and they get 5 more yards. Wow, Mount Airy playing mental games on this East Surry defense.
We're trying to take advantage of that inexperience right there. A lot of these young people, this is their first opportunity in this rivalry game.
There's that young starting defense. Cook Reynolds, Josh Key, the sophomore, Chappell, the junior. But the one experience is Fletcher Gibson and Porter Gibson. So there is a couple of veterans, but it's a young unit, it's the defense.
Yeah, when you have a young unit, you just have to have that strong leadership up front. If you're somebody who's returning, you have to do your best to lead the way.
How about a first down just on penalties for Ian Gallamore's offense here on 1st and 10. Gallimore the toss. Mason the juke. And that's an easy 5 yards. A tailback who last year picked up 2,300 yards. What makes Tyler Mason such a dynamic running back?
I think it's just his will. He's such a great athlete. When he has the ball, he can put his foot down in the ground and make one cut and make a lot of defenders miss. He's a dynamic athlete when he touches the football.
So setting up a 2nd and 4. Mason is dynamic, the Virginia Tech commit entering this year.
Virginia Tech has somebody special on their hands.
Gallimore feeds Mason. He breaks the tackle. Look at Mason getting outside, trucking a defender for the touchdown. Wow.
What a run, what a play. Got a little laundry on the field.
Tyler Mason bringing the physicality for the touchdown. His 53rd of his career.
Wow, it's impressive. That was a nice run. He had a good blocking on the left side right there. The hole opened up like the Red Sea, and the rest was history. He took advantage of the daylight that he saw.
Now let's see, is this penalty after the score, or will this affect the play?
Touchdown is good. Dead ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bears.
So that was in the celebration after the touchdown. And what an ideal start now for Mount Airy marching down the field.
Yeah, you had great field position to start your drive, and that's how you capitalize on that great field position, putting it in the end zone, getting you a touchdown.
Certainly helps when it's a 33-yard drive after the botched punt. And Tyler Mason, the man on the mission, helping out his head coach, J.K. Atkins, on the ground.
He's trying to get the job done. As a team, you got to execute. That's what makes them successful offensively.
Penalty will be assessed.
So you're at a distance now where going for 2 is a possibility, or a long kick.
Number 21, Walker Strop.
Looks like Walker Strop will get the chance to kick it here.
Yeah, they're going to put their trust in their kicker right here.
Trust the Midas touch of Walker Strop, the starting kicker last year, made a field goal in the state title game. Now he attempts one from 35.
That's good.
And Strop pushed it right. That's an efficient drive. 3 plays, 33 yards. And all of a sudden, Mount Airy, they look for revenge tonight. A dynamic start on the ground. Quick touchdown for the Granite Bears. Let's see what the Cardinals have next.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is. Welcome back to Pilot Mountain. Great news. Here's a look at tonight's game forecast from our ABC 45 chief meteorologist. Temperature looks pretty good the rest of the night. It was cooking in the 90s all day, but you're now at 81 at kickoff. That's great news for high school football.
Yeah, this is perfect football weather, playing under the Friday night lights. It's not too hot, not too humid. It's just right.
Okay, Goldilocks. This is what you're doing there. The matchup of Bears and Cardinals. Mount Airy marches 33 yards down the field in a hurry. This is interesting because East Surry elected to get the football. They wanted to make a statement. Now on their second drive, they got to do better.
They got to.
Walker Strop with a bullet on the kickoff. This is returnable. Fleming gets a block. Fleming beats the man and out to the 39-yard line. So that's the type of return East Surry needs.
Yeah, they do. It's this invisible force called momentum. That helps give you momentum going into your drive, right? We got a great return. We got set up great. Way to make some people miss on this kickoff return. Let's take that momentum and let's begin to execute if you're East Surry.
So that was Zach Goings on the touchdown-saving tackle. And Will Jones, who went 8 of 10 last week for 80 yards, he was efficient, but the game was so out of hand. Right. East Surry couldn't get a feel for their offense. Now an opening handoff, and that's going nowhere. Boy, the way Mount Airy crashes the football, it's going to be hard to run tonight.
It's very hard. They are really big up front, Mount Airy. And so they did a good job of plugging the inside. Honestly, it wasn't the best read. He probably should have pulled it and pitched it, but it takes time.
This defense is fired up. Caleb Reed, the linebacker. We've seen Derek Dandy with the sack. A defense that pitched 7 shutouts in a high school football season, that's hard to do at any level.
Yeah, that's very hard, but that's solid. That's good coaching. That's good execution. You're going to hear me say that a lot tonight, but that's good execution. That's good coaching all across the board.
Speaking of good coaching, closed captioning for tonight's game is being brought to you by Caring Hands. At Caring Hands Home Health, we understand that your happiness of your loved ones is important to their overall wellness. As the snap is fumbled, Jones escapes, nearly picked. Good hands in the secondary by Tayshawn Martin. Now, Coach J.K. Atkins, he was high on the young sophomore Martin in the secondary.
Yeah, he's just a physical. He's a physical defensive back out there he scraps, he fights, and he finds a way to the ball every single time. You watch it right here, he's just rolling. He didn't quit, dives out. That's the scrappiness I'm just talking about. He's going to lay out for that because he wants to play.
This is a Mount Airy team that's won 15 straight games, and they're playing really good football at 1-0. East Surry, an opening loss. Now on 3rd and 11. Jones pumps, runs, beats a man, but is short of the sticks. Take me through it as an offensive lineman. Do you go head first? Is 4th down territory in?
You know, I think to get confidence, you do go for it. If you're getting close to your side of the 50, why not? You made up that far, go for it. Put it on your offensive lineman back and tell them to make the first down.
With a generous spot, this is 4th and inches here.
I would go for it. You got to go for it. Why not? You're at home. Well, I'm a risk taker, though. I'll tell you that much.
I'm not taking you to Vegas. Alongside Matthew Gibson, the former Wingate standout, and Denver Bronco, Evan Budrovich. So a 4th and inches for East Surry. Jones, the keeper. Jones gets the first down and is leveled. Whoa, that is some pain on that first down. Tyler Mason dropped the wood.
They made him earn that first down. He got it, but he felt it. He felt every bit of that.
That's when you open the trap door and wham after that pressing forward first down.
Hey, I'm telling you what, though. East Surry may have found something. They need to keep the ball on the ground, whether it is running the ball, like through the shotgun, quarterback draws. I think they might be finding something right now.
Keep in mind, that linebacker, Tyler Mason, one of the best running backs in the country. Well, he showed you the wood there on defense, too.
It's physical. This whole Mount Airy offense and defense is a physical team. They're gonna compete.
And another false start for Keener. What's the adjustment offensively?
You know, I think with having a new quarterback back there, they need to be able to settle down and get used to the way that he calls the play. And so it can be hard sometimes, you being adjusted to somebody else.
And Trent Lohman, who's got the lime hat right there, his former quarterback, Folger Boaz, was the North Carolina Player of the Year in the state. 55 touchdowns. That's a big adjustment for young Will Jones.
It's a huge adjustment. It's big shoes to fill, but like I said, you got to get better every week. You got to get better every play as this game goes on.
Sends Keener in motion, gives it off, and good speed. What an open field tackle, though. Caleb Reed drags down the running back.
Yeah. That's a good job by East Surry getting the ball to the outside. They're going to struggle to run the ball on the inside tonight. So if they can bounce that ball to the outside, getting the ball into fast athletes just like that, you might find some success in the run game today.
Caleb Reed might be the next Brian Urlacher, the way he can move sideline to sideline.
Playing sideline to sideline, it's impressive to see at this age.
A starting linebacker at 100 tackles last year, led his team defensively, setting up 2nd and 11. Jones out of the pocket. Jones pressured. Incomplete. Wow, Keener nearly had it. Good hands by Mario Revels, your guy in the open.
Yeah, that's my guy right there. I was watching his film earlier today, and a lot of his stuff is defensive back tape. And I'll show you, he's a ball hawk. When he sees the ball, he's going to go to the high point. He wants the interception, not the tackle. And that's a great job, great defense right there.
He ripped that arm like an older brother taking food away.
Yeah, no, that's a veteran move right there. That is a veteran move.
That's why I was taller than my brother, so I can keep the food up high, but Revels did a nice job climbing the ladder.
If he wants that ball, he's going to try to get it.
Now you're 6'7", so you're taking the food from me at 6'3". 3rd and a long 11 for Jones. Good out route. Keener the catch. Breaks the tackle. Look at Keener moving just in front of the sticks.
I believe he got that first down. To me, it looks like he got it. He rolled over.
What an effort by Stephen Keener, the junior receiver.
Hey, like I said earlier in the beginning of the game, he finds a way to get open. And once he catches the ball, he's going to get some yards after catch. He's going to do it every single time. That's a good play right there.
Need that Kyle Shanahan offense for the 49ers, the Yak Bros. Of course, Keener's brother was an all-conference receiver. Matthew Keener had 15 touchdowns. Now it's Stephen's turn.
Yeah, trying to follow after big brother.
He looks like Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
I was talking to him before the game. His hair was flowing. He had his Beats by Dre on. I'm like, all right, he's ready.
Now he's in motion, beating to the drum of a first down. But timeout here for Trent Lohman. We'll take that timeout, too, with some sunshine. Come back with plenty of football after this.
Surry Central 6, East Wilkes 0. Elgin 7, West Wilkes 7. And North Surry 7, South Stokes 0. Thank you, 100.9 WIFM, for your support of high school athletics in the Yadkin Valley.
I'm glad they're moving the football because that could have gotten ugly if they didn't. If they don't get that first down, that's probably 21-0 clip.
Scoreboard sponsors, Alliance Insurance, Foothill Builder Supply, Talkie Pocky, 13 Bones, and Royce Restoration. Thank you for your support of East Surry Athletics.
Dave Gorin back out here. East Surry trailing Mount Airy 6-0, but now the answer to that question from before the game, who is David Diamond rooting for tonight? He coached both teams. He said, I'm remaining neutral. Guys.
Dave Gorin, there's no neutrality about him. We know he loves our crew and has been a great partner all year. But I like the coach, Diamond, who's named after this field, too.
Yeah. He's got a lot of time invested into both schools, so I understand it.
Got to plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth.
So Jones hands it off. And all of a sudden on this drive on 4th and inches, that's enough to move the chains. How about the ground and pound attack of East Surry tonight?
Yeah, they're doing a good job of keeping the ball on the ground. They're finding their success in being able to bounce the ball outside. And honestly, it's going to open up their pass game.
Now, J.K. Atkins, he's claiming this is short. This will come down to the sticks here. Whoa, it is short. Remember, no instant replay at the high school level, so it's where that ball's marked.
Yeah, as East Surry, they need to take this confidence. They need to get confidence from this drive, but they can't allow that to kill the momentum that they have. Just take it, learn from it, and grow.
What a break if you're Mount Airy, who last year lost to Thriller 14-12. That was at home against East Surry. These schools were separated by 20 minutes down I-52. The buses came rolling around 5:30. They were ready to rock and roll.
Friday Night Lights.
Ian Gallamore's offense. Second drive for Mount Airy. Gallimore throws, heaves a prayer, And overshoots his target. That's Zach Goins, who had a step on the defense.
Oh yeah, he had about a couple steps on him. Right? Overthrew him, put a little bit too much air on that ball. If he could have just took a little bit of pressure off it, he would have had it.
We're 5 quarters into the season. That's the first incompletion for Gallimore this year.
Wow, that's impressive though.
J.K. Atkins noted in the offseason, we want to develop more passing in our offense, an option team. How does that open up the playbook for Mount Airy?
It does. It makes your run game better if you can pose a threat passing the football.
A team that ran it for 5,000 yards. They want to complement that with more passing this year, as now it's 2nd and 10 with that B-back option. Here's the traditional Mount Airy offense. A toss outside. Good shimmy in open space. Maybe some more. And now still moving on his feet. Oh my goodness, he's Surry dragging down Tayshawn Martin, the stud sophomore.
Wow, a sophomore. Let's not forget that. That's a sophomore right there. He made a move, one cut, little wiggle in his hips, little wiggle in his shoulder, made a guy miss. You watch this, takes the pitch, lets his blockers get in front of him, set up, makes one guy miss, and the rest is history. Just an athlete being a great athlete right there. Little effort at the end of the play to get some yards after contact. That's big.
That's a Crescent Ford first down. Right of the game in style with the new F-150 or the F-450 of Tayshawn Martin pounding the rock.
That's a good one.
He had 48 rushes last year. Not a big part of the offense, but here tonight, that's a huge gain. Setting up a fresh set of downs. Gallimore to the B-back inside. And look at this hole. Pulling defenders like he's trucking a trailer out there on the farm. That's 10 yards at a first down.
That's that triple option. You never know how they're going to hit you. They might get you inside on this. Fortunately for the Granite Bears, they got inside. Good blocking up front. They let 25 do the rest.
That's Caleb Reed, the team captain and senior, the B-back up the middle.
Tough running right there.
J.K. Atkins said, Caleb Reed can run you over. You got to be careful in the hallways of Mount Airy High School after that Crescent Ford first down.
That's good.
This is not a 1st and goal situation, but very close from the 11. A rushing touchdown already for Mason, the talented tailback. Now Mason in motion. He gets the toss, gets a block, gets the sideline, cuts back in, and is a couple yards short of pay dirt. That was a touchdown-saving tackle from Hatcher Ham, the linebacker.
That was good right there. You see he had a toss to the right side of the field. Alex Sprinkle out there leading the way. Big boy getting in front with a good block. Hey, that's what you do. You run behind the big boys and let them clear the way.
So now we have a whistle and an official timeout. Looks like one of the Mount Airy Bears is down after that big run. There's your man Sprinkle.
May have gotten rolled up sometimes in the trenches. You get people fall on your ankles. Had it happen plenty of times. It's painful.
Big credit here to the athletic training staff. They work a ton throughout the year. If Sprinkle is out, Andrew DeVore is the backup at right tackle, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Might need to just go to that sideline, get his ankle taped.
And there's Hayden Bender exiting. So we hope Hayden's okay. Second drive for Mount Airy, chance for a second touchdown here on 1st and goal. An offense that scored 7 touchdowns on 12 plays in week 1.
It sounds like a video game stat.
Let's see what the coach, J.K. Atkins, has dialed up. 1st and goal, it's the B-back, it's a touchdown, and Caleb Reed splits the difference. 2 quick scores for Mount Airy.
Yep, 2 quick scores right there. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the offensive line. When you get inside of the red zone, the only thing that matters to offensive linemen and to offenses is to get in the end zone. And that's exactly what the Mount Airy Granite Bears did right there.
So the missed extra point the first time, does this open up the playbook for going for 2 here?
Why not? You know, I'm a risk taker, though. Why not? But
you're going to double down on your bet.
I'm always.
You'll have pocket rockets, and then you'll hit 20 on each. Don't bet on it, of course. So Mount Airy looks to get an important 14-point lead with a 2-point play. Gallimore back to Reed. Oh, he stopped. Whoa! Hatcher Ham defending home turf.
I love that kind of football. It's physical, it's violent. I love it. Hatcher Ham, that was one of our guys to watch before the game. He is a thumper.
I think he just suplexed the running back, Caleb Reed.
Surry 0.
So there's the touchdown for Reed. And in back-to-back years, East Surry's defense makes a nice 2-point stop.
Yeah, they stop it. You're not going to get anything easy. That is a great tackle. Textbook right there.
Because in last year's game, Mount Airy looked to tie it in the final minutes, and it was the exact type of stop.
Yeah.
East Surry stopped the 2-point play and won the game with this defensive effort.
Yeah, we'll see how this might spark momentum.
But the pressure's on here again.
Because this game came down to the literal final play.
Literally.
Martin, the lone running
Like
back.
you said, very similar.
He fakes going to his right, and he will not. No, he will get away. Great pressure by East Surry, and they.
And guess who? It's Hatcher Ham.
Yep, right
in the middle of it.
Rallying to the football. See ball, get ball. That's what they tell defenders.
One thing Trent Lohman told us this week, we have to learn how to win. This is a team that won 12 games last year, 15 games the year before. But an entirely new team. How do they learn to win tonight?
Plays like this, right? You're learning how to be in the right place at the right time. Mistakes are going to happen, but it's how do you rebound after a mistake?
Special teams were big on the last drive for East Surry. Keener and Fleming back to receive.
And back deep for the Cardinals, number 3, Lyndon Fleming. And number 10, Matthew Edwards.
So we are set to go. Strop to kick this away. Much better kick. Remember, this goes into the end zone. It's an automatic touchback in high school football. And a good leg there by Walker Strop.
Touchback. East Surry will take over their own 20-yard line.
In that second drive for East Surry, more success offensively. How do they replicate that on this drive?
I think they, like I said in the previous drives, they have to get the ball outside. Run the ball outside. I think they will find success, and then they'll be able to open some pass games downfield for them.
Only 2 first downs in 2 drives for East Surry.
All of them came last drive.
And they need them.
They do.
2 quick touchdowns given up. You're on 1st and 10 from the 20. That's Matthew Edwards in motion. And the running back is going nowhere. Watch out below. In comes the linebacker on the stop.
You need a little bit more than that up front. You need a little bit more of that. That was from the beginning of the snap. Granite Bears was in the backfield right with East Surry.
And that's DJ Joyce, one of 4 returning starters on this defensive line.
They got that experience that we talked about in pregame. They know they've seen these types of offense, this offense before, so they're expecting it.
Boy, David Diamond Stadium has gone quiet.
Yeah.
All of a sudden here in this first quarter. East Surry in danger of dropping to 0-2 as another flag comes in. This will be on the offense.
Bishop Hall, full start on the Cardinals.
Those are the type of plays that's going to shoot you in the foot. You want to stay in front of the change, not behind the change. Those penalties, 5 yards, are going to put you back, making it harder to advance down the field.
And when you have 5 penalties in 3 drives, it's hard to move the football.
Yeah, it's hard to win a football game when you constantly keep shooting yourself in the foot.
I don't care for the 2019 LSU Tigers or the East Surry Cardinals. It's hard to move the football when you're working from your own end zone. Here on 2nd and 17, Keener goes outside. It's a nice little hole to get back to the original line of scrimmage, setting up 3rd and long.
Like I said, their success is going to come from running the ball outside. When they begin to get in the rhythm of running the ball outside, it's going to open it up the pass game and also the inside run.
Brings up 3rd down.
Stephen Keener, who's one of 8 siblings to all play at East Surry High School. Wow. What a moment here for the youngest of the Keeners.
Yeah, he's bringing it home. He's bringing it home. No pressure, but he's bringing it home for the guys.
I'd love to be at those Thanksgiving dinners talking about high school football here at East Surrey.
I can only imagine how much food that is.
3rd and long. Jones flings it out for Keener. The youngest man brings it in. Whoa, what a catch by Keener, showing off for the Keener clan on that 1st down.
That ball had a lot of air, a lot of time. Did they give him the catch, though? Was that a catch?
It is.
It was. It's a 1st down right there. That's a good throw, good catch. Like I said, the outside run is going to open up that pass game. What a throw. What a throw, what a catch right there.
And Coach Lohman called him a smooth operator. He probably didn't know Michael Jackson growing up. But the way he gets that Crescent Ford first down, an impressive route.
That was smooth. Way smooth. I told you, he finds a way to get open. Like a smooth operator. Smooth.
That's what East Surry needed. Big third down conversion. Needed 11. Gets enough. Now a fresh set of downs. Back on the ground. And this running game has gone nowhere. I'm going to credit 11 different players on that tackle, including the quarterback, Ian Gallimore. Remember, that's the quarterback anchoring the defensive linebacker.
You don't see that, right? You don't see that. I mean, Coach Atkins was talking about most people would cringe at having their quarterback starting on defense. Most people would cringe at that, but not him. That shows you they're a tough-nosed football team.
It's like the Mud Dogs with Bobby Boucher, right? You bring him off the bench to play quarterback, and then he has 100 tackles on defense. Ian Gallimore is the anchor of this Mount Airy program. How so?
Yeah, because he's the leader. On defense, the linebacker, the middle linebacker is the leader. On offense, the quarterback is the leader. So literally he's leading both offense and defense on the field, getting people to where they need to be.
It is all Mount Airy through this first quarter. 10-0. We'll come back with more for our Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by West Shore Home, when we come back to Pilot Mountain. Is there a light in here?
Surry Athletic Boosters would like to thank the following school board sponsors for their continued support of East Surry Athletics: Alliance Insurance, Talkie Pocky, Widow Builder Supply, Royce and Royster, and 13 Bones. They would also like to thank our concession sponsors, El Aguacate and Surry on the Go. Thank you for your continued support of East Surry Athletics. And a reminder to purchase your 50-50 tickets. There are several people walking around the stands selling them. The drawing will be at halftime, and if you do not play, you do not win.
Great news. We're back with tonight's winning row. Everyone in that winning row will receive free tickets to the Carolina Classic Fair, September 29th, October 8th. You know where to be. The Carolina Classic Fair, there's magic in the fair. And there's magic in being in that row because you just won free tickets.
Right. I'm actually about to give you my headset so that I can go down and be a part of that.
Too late, my friend. Alongside Matthew Gibson, the former Bronco, I'm Evan Budrovich. And nowhere to go on the quarterback keeper there on 2nd and 10.
I tell you what, the Granite Bears are not budging on the inside. Every time East Surry has tried to run the ball up the middle, it has felt as though they ran into a brick wall.
The big plays have been the explosive pass to Stephen Keener. Really no other 10-plus yard plays for this East Surry offense. That, remember, scored 50 or more points 7 times last year with Folger Boaz leading the show. Yeah. Now it's Will Jones, who has to wear a different number at home than he does on the road.
Confuse people.
Sporting the number 30 tonight. And here on 3rd down, Jones throws it long and throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, I think there might be a little moisture on the ball. The way that the ball came out of his hands, it looked as though it kind of slipped from him. But he had a
And how much of that is the pressure from the defense or the nerves as an offensive play?
I think it's a little bit of a mix of both. But also we can't forget about the environment, right? It's very humid outside. They're already sweating, so having a grip on that ball could be kind of hard right now.
It was 95 degrees yesterday. It was in the 90s today. It is an old southern sticky night.
Oh, yeah, it feels like a sauna outside right now.
The good news, it's cooled down into the 80s right here. Third punt of the day for Josh Key. Maybe his best of the evening.
Yeah.
And gets a friendly East Surry bounce inside the 30. Well, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Mount Airy. What have you liked most about this Bears offense tonight?
Everything that they have done has been pretty clean. It's been a clean, smooth, effective, executed offense. They line up, offensive line makes their blocks, running backs run behind those blocks, and it leads to points.
Mount Airy team that took care of business 58-0 over nearby rival North Surry last week. It's been 15 straight wins for number 15. His last loss was against this program in East Surry.
And you know they don't forget that. It's one of those things they probably wake up in the morning brushing their teeth thinking about it. So with that being said, the Granite Bears have a little bit of revenge coming into this game.
J.K. Atkins said, we did not have to bring up this rivalry all week. We knew it. Here on first down to start the second quarter. Right up the middle, Caleb Reed taking a man with him for at least 6. This triple option offense reminds me of Paul Johnson at Georgia Tech. Why so difficult to stop?
Because you never know where the ball is going. So it's so important that you are disciplined on defense, maintaining your gap. If you're maintaining your gap and being disciplined, you'll be able to see wherever the ball is. But once you let go of that gap discipline, somebody's going to probably be running down the sideline for 60 yards.
And that's why Mount Airy averaged per game 330 yards last year.
It's hard to stop.
Top 5 in the state of North Carolina, any division. Here's Gallimore on second and short. First catch of the day for Walker Strop. And look at Strop down the sideline. Walker Strop is gone.
Wow.
This man's got some wheels for his 3rd touchdown of the year.
Does he? Does he have some wheels? It's one thing Coach Atkins was talking about before the game. He said it's not a lot of people that can run with them. And so that just showed us that. Walker Stroud just put on a whole new gear when he caught the ball.
From 0 to 63 real quick. Real quick. And now he kicks the – okay, this is crazy, right? He just ran 63 yards. He looks exhausted. So instead they'll go for 2. Gallimore keeps, and he gets it.
It took a play out of my playbook.
Because Walker Strop said, I need a timeout because he's tired. Quarterback says, I got your back, my friend. We're going to take a break as well. 63 to the house for Walker Strop, and it's all Mount Airy early. In the world of Disney, that's a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. Speaking of point of views, closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands. At Caring Hands Home Health, we do our best to make sure your loved ones feel like they're being taken care of. Now, you put this in a Hollywood script, and I think we're being taken care of here on My 48 TV. Look at that view, my gosh.
It's perfect for a Friday night, you know? It's a perfect backdrop. They should film that, put it on, just don't put the scoreboard on the screen right now.
Right up in Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. It's all Mount Airy, the rivals to the north by 15 miles. And Walker Strop, who just jogged 63 yards, now has to kick the ball off 2 minutes later.
Still breathing hard.
And he looks exhausted. Let's see how far this kick goes. Oh, a little extra juice. As Walker Strop is now loose and gets a touchback.
He didn't want to run down, that's why.
Yeah, he moved 5 yards after the kick. There's the kicker, who now comes out on defense. We did ask both coaching staffs, hot temperatures, humid, each team plays their starters both ways. How do you manage that as a player on the field?
As a player, you have to make sure you hydrate, and that started way before this game. So drinking tons of water, getting your Gatorade, getting your electrolytes in, but making sure that you stay loose on the sideline, moving your body and stretching.
There was a study from the University of Oregon about 5 years ago. The hydration actually is 72 hours before kickoff. It's not the day before, it's not 2 hours before. If you're not ready on Wednesday, there's no chance you're ready Friday.
Right, and so if you get caught in weather like this, you might be on the ground cramping.
Look at that hit. Coming up is the quarterback, Ian Gallimore.
Yeah, he's just bringing, he's doing what he does best, and that's leading the way right there.
138 tackles last year and a big thump on first down.
Talk about some stat lines for that young man. Last year, 138 tackles. How many yards did he pass for? It's kind of insane.
Led one of the best offenses in 1A football, and that look says it all. Man, if you're East Surry, 4 drives, just 47 yards. Now 46 yards on 2nd and 11.
Yeah. If you're East Surry, all I want to see is you competing. If I'm a coach, I want to see you. I want to see you competing.
Jones to pass and pressure. He's hit and nearly picked. Third Floyd almost dropped him. And then the DB, Mario Revels, couldn't hang on.
Yep. One of the things is that with this inexperienced offense is that they will get better as the season goes on, but there will be some growing pains to that. So it's going to be learning through mistakes, trial by fire. That's always not the most pleasant to be around, but at the same time, that's what's going to make them better in the years to come.
Trent Lohman talked about molding his offense to what we want it to be like in November. This might be the learning curve they need to get ready for the conference play.
Correct. They're going to have to simplify their offense, find out what works for them, find their bread and butter, and stick to it.
Their bread and butter last year was Folger Boaz, the player of the year in North Carolina. Here on 3rd and 11, pressure. Quarterback runs, and there's a sack. A combo sack for Caleb Reed and crew. Already 4 sacks for this Mount Airy defense.
Yeah, they're getting after him today. One thing for sure is that when you're a quarterback, you want to make sure if you tuck that ball away, just go. Tuck the ball away and run the football. No dancing, just get yardage.
So the 4th punt for Josh Key. Remember, Mount Airy gets the ball in the 3rd quarter, so this is a make or break drive defensively for East Surry.
It is. That East Surry defense has been on the field quite a bit, and with this type of weather that we're having today, that's how you get exhausted real fast.
Key with a good boot. That's the deepest punt. And returnable for Mario Revels. Revels outside. Beats a man. Revels is loose. Revels has a touchdown.
Good execution by the Granite Bears. Is there some laundry on the field?
Let's see here.
There may be some laundry on the field. That's always the worst, but
We got a couple of Mount Airy players holding their head. A little upset. Yeah, this might be coming back.
they have a block in the back.
It would be a 60-yard return if it stands, but there's the flag.
It's a crack black block.
Let's see.
You know,
Not there. Not there.
right there. He didn't need to do it.
Oh.
He didn't need to do it. He didn't need to do it.
Tyson.
He
That
didn't need
affect
to do
the
it.
play, Tyson.
Didn't.
Don't
But-
worry. The coaches will point it out on film.
Yeah, he didn't need to make that block right there, but
Here's the hit.
boom. Unnecessary. Just being physical. Just being physical. But in this day and age where the game has evolved to, that block is illegal now. Back when I was playing, that would have got you praise on the football team. But now that gets you a penalty, and that wipes points off the board. Explosive play by Rebels.
So Mount Airy has taken a timeout to talk this over. Well, let's take the timeout as well. We'll come back, rest of the 2nd quarter after this. It's all Mount Airy, and the Granite Bears have the football next.
He didn't need to make that block. but sometimes you can't. It's their aggressive nature. You just
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, reminder that all Surry County school facilities are completely free. North Carolina State.
Welcome back to Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. That's the biggest ticket in town.
I
The
know.
concessions in this neck of the woods.
I know where I'm going for halftime.
By the way, the ground steak burgers here in Surry County, I heard are fantastic. That
Yeah.
is a local specialty, and that's why the lines are so long tonight. Got to get your burger.
Right.
Mount Airy has been eating up yards in this first half, over 150 so far. Gallimore keeps. Gallimore turns on the Jets. Oh my goodness, here comes the quarterback with his own quarterback to stop him. One man to beat, and Gallimore gallops in East Surry territory.
All I can say about Mount Airy is their speed. I didn't realize it until now. They are really fast. And when they get in the open field, there's not a lot of teams on this level that can really run with them.
This is a left-handed Jalen Hurts tonight, just trucking people.
Yeah, he is running. I'm kind of blown away by their speed overall. It's very impressive. This is a fast football team, and that's really hard to beat. Speed kills.
32 career starts for Gallimore. He's growing up in front of our eyes tonight. He's led a team to a state semifinal berth, a state championship, and now in his senior year, 1st and 10. Little toss to Mason. Patient. Oh, patience is a virtue.
Yes, it is.
And Mason almost gets the first down. He'll get 15 more on the illegal tackle by Hatcher Ham.
Yep, that is it right there. You don't need to help a team that is already moving the ball. That was a great patient run by the running back right there. Way to wait for your blocks and allow it to come down.
Okay, Matthew, take me through this as a player. You're up 20, a little bit of chirping. How do you keep the calm and cool here?
You got to focus on your game. If I'm winning right now, I'm not worried about. Of course, they're going to try to drag you down to their level. Stay focused, execute your plays, and let's run up the score.
Here's our lead referee, Ross Folger.
How's your family doing? How's your family doing? Good. Absolutely.
So Ham is out of the game for the moment. I don't know if he was ejected, but that is a big penalty and a big loss for East Surry.
Yeah, you just got to be smart about that. You can't allow, I know you might be upset, this is a rivalry, but you got to keep your cool. Be smart, because that's not going to help your football team win any football games.
Almost 10 penalties now for East Surry. Hard to beat a great team when you're committing mistakes.
Now, I'm no statistician, but I feel like they might have more penalty yards than they actually do offensive yards.
Good news is we're sitting next to statisticians, so I can get you that answer in a few minutes, but have a great crew here working tonight. And they do. 35 penalty yards, 31 total yards. Our statisticians are locked in tonight.
Yeah, that's not the yardage you want. That is not the yardage.
When the
you want.
yellow outgains the green,
Yeah.
you're in trouble.
We're going to have long conversations about that next week.
Unless you're in Twister. If you get enough like yellow foot, right hand green.
a little yoga.
With a timeout here for Mount Airy to talk this over. Matthew, you've talked about Mount Airy's speed and their running game. What has impressed you most about this Mount Airy offense tonight?
They're a well-oiled machine. That's what I would say, is that they know their plays, everybody knows their assignment, and they do their job.
And for more, we'll go down to Dave Gorham. What's up, Dave?
Well, after that Ham penalty, Trent Bowman called him off the field, made him go sit down on the bench, and said, "We don't play that way, go sit down." You like to see coaches who know what's right and will teach their players the right thing. So good move by Coach Lohman there. I'm sure Mr. Ham would like to do that again.
And Dave, that's a great point, because Trent Lohman's an 11-year head coach, longtime assistant, state champion. He knows how to hold his players accountable too, good or bad result.
Yeah, he does. And the thing about it is Ham is a leader on that defense. He's a leader on this team. And so if the leader is making silly mistakes like that, he does not want that to be the example for those younger, inexperienced players.
Coach Lohman said this is the youngest team he's ever had, offense or defense. And they are learning tonight. This is a midterm type exam with a state champion in Mount Airy in town. Knock on the door again. 1st and goal. Gallimore gives it to Mason. Mason still moving. And he's a couple yards short.
That was a good job by Surry right there, rallying to the football, wrapping up, and not allowing big plays to happen. It was one of the keys for victory for them is they cannot allow big plays to happen on their defense. And that is something, hopefully they can give them some momentum as this game continues.
That was the backup linebacker, Jonathan Parker, who's also the kicker, in on the stop.
It doesn't surprise me. In these 1A division teams, a lot of people are going to be 2A players. So you have kickers who are also linebackers.
And the best linebacker, Hatcher Ham, is taking a breather, as Dave just noted.
Yeah, he's probably going to be spending some time right there on the bench.
Chance for 4 touchdowns in 4 drives for Mount Airy. Gallimore gives it up the middle to Reed. Pinballs into the end zone. And it's like playing video games for the Mount Airy Granite Bears. Another rushing touchdown.
Another rushing touchdown. That triple option is hard to beat when you know and you have the players to execute it with perfection.
There are no flags. And think about this. Caleb Reed, Tyler Mason combined last year. Oh my gosh, 57 touchdowns. The 2 of them. In a, 10-game regular season? Yeah, the postseason. That's a lot of scoring.
It's video game numbers. It's a touchdown. Their offense, with the speed that they have, and like I said, the execution, they're destined to score many touchdowns and honestly top their performance that they did last year.
And they were the 2nd highest scoring team in the state last year.
They're going for the #1 spot.
Here's the extra point for Strop. He sneaks that one in there. After a 4-play, 63-yard drive. Efficient, efficient, efficient.
It's the name of the game right there. Keeping that ball on the ground, ran it up right inside. You think with the
1, 2, 3, 4 tacklers there of Caleb Reed.
It's a learning curve for the East Surry Cardinals right now, but Mount Airy is doing what they do best, running the football.
Ran the ball for 5,200 yards last year. And Mount Airy with 90 rushing touchdowns. This is nothing new for J.K. Atkins. What I do like about this offense, it's not just one guy. We've seen 3 different players score 10.
They have a lot of weapons, and the good thing for Mount Airy is that they are youthful. Like, some of these guys are going to be coming back for the next couple of years to continue to make this offense even better.
An offense that quietly scored 50 points a game last year.
That's impressive. It feels like you're playing an NCAA football game with those type of numbers.
Walker Strop's a busy camper, man. Yeah. He's kicking extra points. He's catching 20-yard passes. He's making tackles. He scored a touchdown.
63-yard touchdowns.
And in the background of El Aguacate, he sends this one away. Vámonos, football.
You can do it all.
Returnable kick. Ooh, breaking off a tackle. And a good trip up by number 12, Tyson Humans, with the special team stop.
Yeah, he's coming back. He feels a little bit of pressure from erasing that touchdown from his crackback block, but he came down there with a vengeance, like a heat-seeking missile. See ball, get ball. Excuse me, sir. Come here. Come here, sir.
Matthew Edwards, you ordered up some pancakes right in the face.
It's all right.
That's 238 of bowling ball type.
Yeah,
power.
He can move for his size now.
Okay, East Surry with a quarterback change. Luke Bruner, the junior, comes in. This is Bruner's first play of the day, and he hands it off.
Okay.
There's a nice hole up the middle, so Fleming gets about 6.
That was nice right there. That was a good pickup. Now, if they can stay ahead of the chains, something that they have not been doing all game, they can stay ahead of the chains. They might find their way into the end zone on this drive.
Luke Bruner did not play quarterback until he was a freshman. He was a DB and a receiver his whole life. And now in his 2nd year of high school football, this is a big test.
Hey, if you want to get on the field, you're going to do what you need to do. So if that means you're lining up to throw the football, you better be ready to do a good job of it.
So 2nd and short here for East Surry with a new quarterback in. Another handoff. And that'll be short of the first down. stay tuned for the My 48 halftime report. We'll have the week's scholar athletes, the interviews with the principals, highlights, and so much more coming up at our My 48 halftime report. Don't go anywhere. And the pretzel stacking contest. We can't forget about that.
Pretzel stack.
We'll explain to you all the pretzel stacking contest. It's worth the price of admission.
You win the tickets for this too?
Well, you win a teddy bear. So,
Okay.
And you win some Carolina Classic swag too, and that's important.
Competitiveness is coming out now.
East Surry in desperate need of a first down here on 3rd and 3. Ooh, running back takes it and goes nowhere. Good stop by Tyler Mason. Now that's one of those the quarterback might have wanted to keep.
Yeah, he might have wanted to keep that, but I think he saw Tyler Mason coming off the edge and there was no parts of it. Tyler Mason came down, was blowing up offensive lineman. I saw that firsthand just now.
That's the running back who's gone over 100 yards tonight on the ground and then makes this tackle.
He's a big kid. I saw him in pregame. He's thick. He's very physical. He blew up that play.
Then the big guys come in,
Yeah.
Katie Harper and Tripp Floyd.
Setting the edge and letting the cavalry come.
And Tripp Floyd's a big dude, 5'11", 320.
Yes, and he can move. That's the biggest thing. He's a big boy, but he moves well.
Looks like East Surry's going to milk every second off his clock and then call the timeout.
East Surry.
I think they're going to punt anyway. They should. Yeah, we'll see. Well, we got 3 minutes. I'm just saying, if you want to find. Yeah, let's do it.
And Trent Lohman noted this is a learning season for East Surry. Now, maybe not the score they wanted, but what do you take out of a game like this when you are down multiple touchdowns?
I think as a coach, you want to see how is your team playing with heart right now. I don't see any quitting in Surry right now, so I can imagine that they're still coming out there and trying their best to execute. Sometimes you just don't got it right now. Like you said, it's a learning season. This might be something 2 years from now they might be grateful for this happening.
Mount Airy, meanwhile, is looking to win a 16th straight game. They'll play Surry Central and Ashe County and North Stokes. There are some winnable games on the schedule for Mount Airy coming up. You could easily see this team back in a state final.
Why not? You got a lot of returning players. They have the taste for blood in their mouth. They want more. They want it.
Guys,
Go get
they're
it.
granite bears, not grizzly bears. You know, give them some credit in one of the granite capitals of the world in Mount Airy.
Either way, they say winning is an infectious thing. So once you win, you get a taste of victory, especially at the state championship level. You want to taste it again.
Trent Lohman noted the growth of Luke Bruner as a quarterback and Will Jones. He wanted to switch him in and out throughout the week. And here's Luke Bruner's first drive. Now on 4th and 5. Play clock's ticking. East Surry does have a timeout, and they'll use it.
They tried to draw them off sides right there, but the Granite Bears, they were disciplined, watching the ball. They knew what was coming, so they just eyes on the ball. If the ball doesn't move, you do not move.
After, in the first drive, East Surry jumped off sides, what, 3 times?
Yeah.
We see it the other way, and Mount Airy's not moving an inch.
Like we said, it's experience versus inexperience. Yep. So as an experienced team who happens to be up 27-0, you know that the East Surry Cardinals are going to try to do whatever it takes to get you to jump off side so they can get a cheap first down. They're not falling for it.
And now the return men could really go to work here. Mario Revels and Tyler Mason, a couple of running backs.
Didn't USC used to do that back in the day? They put Reggie Bush and
And
somebody
Lendale White back-to-back,
Yeah.
Thunder and Lightning. That's a tough punt. Good job getting it off. And the best punt for East Surry all day. Nearly a 40-yard punt. That'll flip the field.
That is
Just
a good
under 4 minutes to go.
I'm kind of shocked they didn't try to pick it up and run it.
Well, the last time they did it, they had a touchdown before the block in the back.
I'm the risk taker, though.
On the punt there by Josh Key, who now has to play defensive line. That's what always impressed me about 1A, 2A football, the versatility of these athletes.
And the versatility, not only that, but the conditioning. I wonder how much they run during fall camp to get their bodies prepared to be on the field for so many plays.
So here's Ian Gallimore, whose younger brother is on the team as well, Landon. He's a junior. He'll wear number 2, so if you see them both come in, that'll be a fun Gallimore family moment later. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns for Mount Airy. And on drive number 5, we have a flag. Only the 2nd penalty for Mount Airy tonight.
Yep. Never want to get behind the chains, regardless if you're winning or you're losing. You always want to stay in front of the chains. Those 5-yard penalties, 10-yard penalties, never going to be good for you.
There's an inside handoff to Rebels, faking out the defense. Uh-oh, there goes Mario. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. All the way to the end zone. 77 yards of brilliance.
I saw it. He saw it. When I saw it, he saw it. Great, 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 great play call off the left side. Great double teams up front. The hole open, it parted, and let him run. They just let him run.
Don't let this running game get loose.
It is loose. It's already loose.
On the longest first down of the day, 77 yards, cleans it up.
Dynamic plays, big. This offense is explosive. With speed like that, it's so explosive.
Oh, a 2-point conversion, and Reed is in. That's the old Fumblerooski snap to the side. They're pulling out all the tricks in this rivalry game.
They're doing it.
Well, hold on. We got a flag. So Reed scored it. Let's see what the officials figure all this out. They're probably like, wait, is that legal? But the ball was on the ground.
It is.
Interesting on the defense. I didn't see that in
see
live
it.
action.
Got to keep your head, though.
Got to get your head in the game like Troy Bolton in High School Musical.
Got to keep your cool even when you're losing. Got to keep your cool. Can't give away unnecessary penalties.
And that's where a young team is being a little exposed tonight. If you're
It's that maturity. You got to grow up. If you don't want to get pushed around,
you got to find your Vanessa Hudgens to get you focused and back in the classroom. You know, it's not just all the success on the field.
What a run, though. What a run.
An inside, that's like a Madden play, like the inside B dive reverse touchdown.
I tell you, that's something, that's probably their bread and butter right there. What a run. Had good blocking out front of him.
Even the camera op was faked.
Yeah, everybody was faked out. Great lead blocking. The rest was history. He didn't really get touched. It was smooth. It partied like the Red Sea, and the rest was history, like we said. Touchdown, 77 yards later.
Mario Revels, who recovered a huge fumble in the state title game against Tarboro. They were the reigning champions of a couple of years. Now he's on the offensive side, carrying the load with a big touchdown. That is fumbled on the return. This is a live football. Uh-oh. And going out of bounds after a short return was Matthew Edwards. Sometimes it goes from bad to worse on that play.
It does. Like you said earlier, the coach said that this year is going to be a learning year. I tell you, on Monday or Tuesday, whenever they get the players together to watch film, there's going to be a lot of teachable moments and hard conversations with the film.
Well, remember Monday's Labor Day, my friend. Yeah, it's a big holiday in the country out here.
It's happening.
Appreciate the hard work of our My 48 crew, of course. Chain gang, referees, everyone involved. East Surry's had just 2 first downs tonight. They look to close out this first half with something dynamic. Luke Bruner back in at quarterback. He gives it off, and that goes nowhere. And now Caleb Reed and Gallimore and these linebackers can just play downhill the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're East Surry, the only choice that you have to do sooner than later is put the ball in the air. But that hasn't been the most successful for you at this moment. And so right now, I think for them, they are just trying to get to halftime to readjust. Like you said, those linebackers know what's happening. They're not faking.
And this is not the NFL, right? There's no free agents. There's no transfers. You lose a quarterback in Folger Boaz, who threw for 48 touchdowns. That's hard to replace for an offense.
It's very hard to replace. He's a bread and butter, and so you just have to learn how to adjust.
Here's the new quarterback, Bruner, pressured, hit, escapes. Oh, fumble! Loose turkey, and it's picked up by the Bears. Grabbing the honey in the red zone.
Tyler Mason.
I figured a running back would get the football there.
Wow.
Mason has a touchdown and a fumble recovery. Let's see who knocked this out. Oh, yeah, 50 knocked it out. That's D. Dawkins.
Got to protect the football, especially when you're that close to your own end zone. You got to protect that football. Don't want to give away easy points to a team that does not have trouble scoring the football.
Mount Airy's defense forced 35 turnovers last year. That's like 3 a game.
It's impressive. It's very impressive what they're doing.
And now we're seeing the full implement of tight ends. This is Jim Harbaugh, Michigan offense here. Everybody's in the line of scrimmage. Mason gets the handoff. Oh, wait, no, it's Gallimore. Oh, wait, it's a pitch to Rebels. Give him another touchdown. And, oh, it's me, it's Mario. Back-to-back scores for Rebels.
Mario is collecting all his coins tonight. He's doing the job. Great play call right there. Faked like they were going to inside, had the option. Pitched it right there at the last moment and let the athlete do what the athlete does best, score.
You know, the more I watch this offense, I really think it's like the Navy triple option because there are so many quarterback pitches, inside handoffs, everything you have to think for as a defense.
Yeah. The strength of a triple option is misdirection. And so it's like, oh, you don't know who to look at. You don't know who to pay attention to. And the next thing you know, somebody running down the sideline for a touchdown.
And then there's Walker Strop finishing it off. How about tonight on the ground? 17 plays, 290 yards of total offense, and we're still in the first half.
Very impressive. When you run the ball like that, you're going to win a lot of games.
Oh. I mean, Gallimore's falling to the ground, and he finds Rebels.
Yeah. A lot of the guys were going, a lot of the defense was pursuing hard to the left. Mr. Rebels put his foot in the ground, went back
those
right.
carnival games with the 3 red cups on a black table, and you hide the ball and you see which one has the ball in the cup?
That's a great explanation. That's actually a really good explanation of that offense that we're seeing.
And then you see the ball, it's like, whoop, I already got a touchdown.
Yeah.
Too late. Hey, isn't that fitting? There's a Naval Academy shirt on the sideline. I might have to send Dave on some investigative journalism there during halftime.
You know, I'm wondering if that's some of the film they watch during the offseason to take plays from. I wonder if the Navy and other triple option teams are who this Mount Airy coaching staff study.
Ian Gallimore going to bed watching Keenan Reynolds, one of the great Navy quarterbacks of all time.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sometimes signs, they don't always go your way. And it may not be in the cards for the Cards to win tonight, unfortunately.
And that's okay. Sometimes that's how it is. You live and you learn.
So the last 2 first halves for Mount Airy, up 45-0 in game 1, up 42-0 in game 2.
You know, I'm wondering if they have a pact with the starters, like we score X amount of points in the first half, you don't have to play in the second.
The running clock can become a factor in the second half, too. As here's the return for the young Michael Fisher, the sophomore. Well, look at Fisher swimming upstream.
Trying to make something happen.
It's got to be such a cool moment, too. You're a sophomore, you're barely able to drive to class, and now, hey, you're going to do kickoff return and try something different.
Yeah, you just got to grow. You got to grow. It's a lot of wide eyes, deer in the headlights look, but it's okay because these are going to be moments as the season progresses they're going to be learning from.
And playing one of the best teams in the state at any level, not just the 1A, but up and down the state.
It's one of the things, football is a sport sometimes where you just get thrown into the deep end and you have to sink or you have to swim.
So Will Jones has re-entered. 2 drives for Bruner, 3 drives for Jones. Now it's Jones' turn. This could be the final drive of the half. And I don't think East Surry's on the same page. Final timeout.
He said patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. With this young, inexperienced team, you got to have patience and allow them to be able to work and figure things out for themselves.
Trent Lohman noted this week just the lack of experience at quarterback, and that's the exact opposite for Mount Airy. 20 of their 21 starters come back, and this team looks like they're playing in December and not the second week of the year.
Yeah, it's night and day. I mean, when you have 20 out of 21 starters return, man.
And East Surry's got maybe 3, probably more like 2 if you count certain positions.
Right.
But it's an exact opposite.
It's the total opposite. One team is just building on what they already know. The other team is literally teaching new things and trying to get new players indoctrinated into their culture.
And the funny thing is, next year when these teams meet at Mount Airy, it'll be the exact opposite. It'll be Mount Airy with a bunch of sophomores and juniors.
Right.
David Diamant, the longtime head coach of both programs.
And you better believe that those young folks on East Surry won't forget how this feels or tastes. They won't forget that.
This field was named after Coach David just 5 years ago, so a lot of history. Worked at both programs, as Dave noted. A legend here in Surry County. First and long. Here's a pass. There's a drop, nearly a pick. I was curious when the passing game would be more of a factor for East Surry tonight.
Well, I can imagine in the second half that they're going to put the ball into the air. They have to. In order to score points in a rapid pace, they're going to have to put the ball in the air. And they're also going to have to run the ball to the outside. They're going to have to try to do it.
And with the running clock, you got to have to score quickly, right? Like the clock's not going to stop.
It's not.
So you got to move.
Time is not on their side.
There's a screen pass. Good catch by Matthew Edwards, but he's leveled by the quarterback. That's like Terrell Owens calling out Tony Romo out there.
The quarterback of the offense and the defense making plays.
That's my quarterback.
Making plays right there. It's quarterback making plays. The thing about Mount Airy is they're so fast. They get to the ball on offense. They're fast. On defense, they're fast.
Is that Ray Lewis or Jalen Hurts? Like you combine them both and you turn them into a stud linebacker.
Jalen Lewis.
We did ask J.K. Atkins what position he'd probably play in college. He said he could play anywhere.
Yeah.
Most likely linebacker.
Yeah, I can see that.
After a long run, a timeout here by Mount Airy, their final timeout.
He's giving Tim Tebow.
See that documentary on the Florida Gators, by the way?
Impressive. Impressive documentary. One thing I see in common is that they're winners. Mount Airy is a winner.
And they're both 15s.
Both 15.
We didn't get to ask Ian if that's the reason for the number, but he's sure playing like it.
Yeah, he is. And I imagine if Tim Tebow did play defense.
So Tebow does the chomp, and what does Gallimore do, the bear claw, like 2 claws in the air?
I hope he does not do the bear claw. He's not really scaring anybody with that. Maybe he just shows his teeth.
There's the coach going, hey, 2 hands up, like claw, right? We're doing the claw?
He does a big flex. I saw that.
We saw that on the tackle there.
Yeah, I saw that. That's his thing.
Ian Gallimore, a 3-sport athlete, a captain. I imagine the homecoming king coming up in a couple of months.
The principal, probably everything.
He's the linebacker, he's the quarterback, he's an outfielder and a pitcher on the baseball team.
It's an athlete.
Cool story. His brother is also on the baseball team. He plays football too. And we asked the Adkins family, well, how do the Gallimores travel? He said, oh, you'll hear the Gallimores. They'll be at every game in the parking lot. They'll be yelling and screaming. They tailgate every game. It is unique.
It's a family reunion in the parking lot.
This is the 6th punt for East Surry. And we have a flag. Oh, we have 12 men on the field for Mount Airy.
Flag prior to the snap. There's a sleuth of bears on the field.
The PA announcer with the very clever sleuth of bears. I was going to say pack of bears, but I like that. Ooh, and now the offense comes back out. Okay, this is a cat and mouse game.
You know, at this point, what do you really have to lose? Right?
And then the starting defense comes back out. It's helter-skelter here.
It's like a little game of chess. I can imagine East Surry is try to draw Mount Airy offsides. Got to watch the football right here if you're Mount Airy.
4th and about 2. East Surry has 2 first downs tonight. Hand off to make it 3. Good broken tackle. and then spun down by Tayshawn Martin after a gain of 7.
There you go. That's how you play hard right there. That's how you play hard. Those things add confidence to you. You got a first down on the 4th down, go get it. Why not try to get into the end zone before this quarter is over, before this half is over? Go score.
Great home crowd here at East Surry. Jones to throw, takes his shot, and it's picked by Strop. Here we go. Strop just dances out of bounds after the 2nd turnover forced by this defense.
Yeah, that was it looked good coming out of his hand. Overthrew his wide receiver. It's a perfect throw to Strop. Just unfortunate. Just unfortunate. The chips are not falling for the Cardinals right now. Like I said, perfect throw to Strop right there.
Is that the receiver supposed to run a route, or just the quarterback missed his target?
You know, I really do believe that there could have been some type of miscommunication on the route. Quarterback could have been thinking that this receiver was going to run right down the numbers, but it just did not happen.
Okay, we've already seen 5 touchdown drives from Mount Airy. Here's drive 6. Gallimore scrambles. Oh, man, he's going for blood here down the sideline, and a flag gives Mount Airy 15 yards.
Unnecessary penalties. He really didn't have to do that right there. You didn't have to extend that arm. You didn't have to push him. You had great defense, great coverage. Finish the play.
And now an injured player down for East Surry. This isn't good. Trent Oman comes out.
Could be our first cramp of the game.
Now the athletic training staff coming out. That flag there was on Lyndon Fleming. We've seen him as a running back tonight.
This point in the game, a lot of guys are getting tired. Your body is getting exhausted. It's hot. It's humid out there. Wouldn't be surprised if this was a cramp.
Yeah, we'll have an official's timeout to keep tabs on that player. This is the last thing you want to see in a game that's kind of gotten out of hand, right? You want to see everybody healthy for next week. Is East Surry, they'll host West Stokes and South Stokes the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, you want to see your guys stay healthy. You already don't have that many players as well, so you can't always afford for people to get hurt, but you never want to see that.
It was neat driving up tonight, going through Pilot Mountain and seeing one of the beautiful, majestic mountains of this area, 2,500 feet elevation.
It's beautiful. Have you ever been on a hike up there before?
That's on my bucket list. I'm
nice.
a big hiker, but I have a black lab, so he likes to run around and, you know, explore the world. Good to see Porter Gibson, the sophomore, get back up.
Hope he's all good.
Getting some help from his teammates, too.
Big brother right there.
Yeah, Big Fletcher helping out little Porter. Joanne, the athletic trainer, always important.
ATs, they don't always get the most credit, but they are so important for athletes, keeping them healthy, making sure that they are safe. They are so important.
So after the penalty, ball's at the 38 for Mount Airy. Gallimore fakes the bubble, slings it for the end zone. Watch out. And Revels underran the throw. He came back to the football.
Yeah, I guess that's what they talk about. They're trying to evolve their pass game. It's one of those things, those deep threats. You got the speed to have great deep threats. Just got to learn how to connect. It's a good opportunity to do so these last few seconds of the game. Half.
It feels like it. And that's the problem here if you're East Surry. You're running out of time. Mount Airy that's marched down the field for 300 yards of offense now in this first half. They are not slowing down here on 2nd and 10. Mason gets the rock. Mason breaks, what, 6 tackles to get 11 in the first down.
Yeah, his yard after contact tonight, uh-oh, he's kind of limping right now.
Uh-oh, Mason hurting that left foot.
Might have rolled his ankle right there.
Gallimore's got to hurry. And he just throws it incomplete. This is a big moment here for Mason, the senior tailback. Virginia Tech commit. You don't want to see this with 20 seconds left.
I would imagine we probably wouldn't see him for the rest of the game.
And that's what Mount Airy did in the first half, pulled the starters at halftime.
Think he might have got rolled up on that last. He broke a couple tackles, but then at the end, I think somebody may have fell on his ankle. Walking it off, though.
So that means Caleb Reed will move into tailback in this more open offense. 22 seconds left. Play action, roll out, run. Gallimore gets a block and then is hit hard in the secondary with the clock stopping.
Got to get on the ball right here. You're moving the sticks. Clock stops.
10 seconds left. Tick, 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 tick. Official has to start the clock. And that'll stop it with 6 seconds. One play for the end zone.
Yep. All right, so I'm gonna flip it on you. If you're the coach right now for Mount Airy, what are you calling right now? What are you doing?
I'm creative. I'm doing the Patrick Mahomes spin huddle thing out of the, and then you spin to the line of scrimmage and you do like the double toss reverse.
Okay.
Kind of like the wild play. But no, I think Gallimore's going to set up for a field goal here.
Okay. Taking any points you can get.
Remember, with these high school hashes, this is not an easy kick.
Not at all.
First drop. It's a 31-yard field goal. Ooh, he shanked it left. And there's 1 second left. Might be some home cooking on the clock there. Just me, a little observation here, but it's okay. Every second counts.
Every second counts.
So the first missed field goal for Walker Strop this year.
Yep. Give him a little credit. He's been doing a lot. He might just be tired, and that thing went left.
I mean, the fact he ran a 63-yard touchdown and then almost kicked an extra point right after, I think he said, hey, man, sub me out. And Gallimore's, okay, I'll just run it in and get the 2-point play. This will be the final play of the first half.
All right, let's see what happens. Take a shot downfield. Oh.
Okay. So, a dominant first half for Mount Airy, over 300 yards, scoring in all but one drive. How about these Granite Bears coming to play tonight?
They came to play. They're coming to build off of the momentum from last week. And honestly, they're building off the momentum from their state championship run last year. Like I said, they have blood in the water, and they want to be back in Raleigh again this year for the state championship.
That man was impressive. Mario Revels with a couple of touchdowns. I mean, everybody got involved. Mason scored, Gallimore scored, Revels scored, Reed scored. It's not just one running back who takes over for this offense.
There's so many players on this team. They're going to look back and realize how loaded this offense/defense is. So many athletes that can score at will and make great plays on both sides of the ball.
So in the last 2 games, 87 first half points for Mount Airy. East Surry, meanwhile, they got some things to think about at the halftime break.
A lot of teaching, a lot of coachable moments happening right now for the East Surry Cardinals. So they need to hold their heads high, but at the same time, go back into.
And let's go down to Dave Gorn with Mount Airy's head coach. Dave.
All right, JK, not as good a first half as you'd want, yes?
Yes, from an execution standpoint, I thought it was really good.
You got 42 points on the board, and now what do you tell the team here at the half?
Well, we got to finish. You know, I mean, they're not going to quit. They're going to keep coming at us, and what I don't want is to look sloppy in the second half. Whether it are Group 1s or Group 2s, whatever, we need to still execute at a high level and finish the game.
Expect the Group 2s to get a little more time tonight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm smarter than that. You know, this season is more than this night, and we approach it that way. Our goal is to be the best team that we can be going into November, and you can't do that if you got dudes on the sideline with injuries.
Appreciate your time. Good luck second half.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, J.K. Atkins, his team leads it here 42-0. We'll be back with the Friday Night Rivals halftime report after we step away for this.
Throughout the 2023 Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals season, Bojangles will recognize an exceptional senior student athlete from each participating school with a plaque presentation prior to each game. This week's Bojangles Scholar athletes are from East Surry High School, Sophie Hutchins. East Surry's Sophie Hutchins is a four-sport athlete playing tennis, golf, track, and soccer. She is the Foothills 2A Tournament Singles Champion and holds a 4.479 GPA. Sophie is on the National Honor Society and a chairman of the Health Occupation Students of America Club. She volunteers at Northern Regional Hospital and aspires to one day be a nurse. And from Mount Airy High School, Anderson DeVore. Mount Airy's Anderson DeVore plays varsity football and he's on the golf team. He played on last year's NCHSSA state championship team, on the National Honor Society, and was a junior marshal. Anderson is an active member of Young Life, volunteers at Surry Medical Ministries, and would like to pursue a career in engineering after attending college. Anderson and other nominated students are also eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of Bojangles. Bojangles proudly gives back to our community and is honored to be the sponsor of Friday Night Rivals Scholar Athlete Award.
Back here in Pilot Mountain, where East Surry trails Mount Airy 42-0 at halftime, joined by East Surry High School Principal Shannon Duplessis. And Shannon, first of all, great to see you. How's the year going so far?
So far, so good. We're rocking and rolling here at East Surry High School. We just got school up and off the ground, so we're excited to see what the year brings us.
You've been cranking for 2 weeks now, you told me. As you get into this each year, do things change at all, or is it pretty much, I know what I'm doing, I know what I want, and let's go?
Every day is an adventure here at East Surry High School, but one thing that we know we do every year is continue to raise the bar for our students. We believe in a tradition of excellence in everything that we do, so we really push our students hard and our staff hard to be better and better every day.
And that's your focus, I'm guessing?
That is our focus, just to be the best that there is, and we'll continue to do that work.
And what are you proud of? I mean, you're in charge, you have a lot of people who work for you, they make you look good, right?
Fantastic. They make me look fantastic. But what I'm most proud of here in the East District is this community. You can't say enough about these folks coming out, supporting their students, supporting other teams. I think we got class acts here in the East District, and I'm really proud of the collective spirit that we have here at East Surry High School.
What's your favorite part of doing this job?
The people. The people are amazing, and our students are fantastic. Our staff is above any that are around, and our families are awesome.
That makes it really easy on you then, doesn't it?
I wouldn't say easy, but the work is rewarding, and I really enjoy working with this community.
And for folks out there who don't know, tell everyone, what time do you get out of bed every morning during the year?
Too early, 4:45.
You don't get home until?
Well, tonight will be like 11:30, 12.
So they're long days. We should all appreciate our administrators as well as our teachers and staff. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great school year.
Thank you so much.
All right, Shannon Duplessis, the principal here at East Surry High School, and we'll be back with more of the Friday Night Rivals halftime show from Pilot Mountain in just a minute. Stay with us. Dave Gorin back here at East Surry, where Mount Airy leads the Cardinals 42-0 at halftime. Good night for Mount Airy, second straight for them, and they're the defending 1A state champions. Joining me now, their principal, Jason Dorsett. And Jason, have you come off that cloud nine from last December yet, from that championship?
Well, last December, that was a wonderful feeling. A wonderful feeling for these student athletes, for our coaches, for our community. It took 4 or 5 months, but once we hit the summer, we knew that we needed to refocus and we had to look ahead to this season. But at that time, winning that state championship, that was just a tremendous moment for so many. They'd worked so hard, they worked together. The sportsmanship was fantastic, and our community, it was something we really wanted, and we were able to provide that for them, and I'm just very proud to be part of that, just a small piece of that championship run. And our community, our players, our coaches, their parents, just so happy for them.
That's something a community really can ride for a long time. Obviously, great win last week, a blowout so far tonight, looking good. Do you think you can make it back-to-back?
Well, it's always tough. Every season provides different challenges, but I know that our players have worked extremely hard. They've worked together. We've accepted new players, freshmen to come into our program, new coaches. It's great to see on the sidelines that we have some recent graduates that are volunteer coaches. So, you know, young men that are leading young men. I do believe we have a great run in us. I'm not going to look that far ahead, but I'm very proud of where we are and the direction and the focus. So I do believe we have a great chance.
Some of the smaller schools in this area had seen enrollment drop a lot over the last generation or so. You guys are, from what I understand, up 90 students this year, yes?
We are, and as of today, it's 95. And again, I have a small role to play in all of that, and I believe the reason for our increase, and it's been a dramatic increase in the last 3 months, is our staff. We have a wonderful staff, just wonderful teachers that get involved and create relationships for every student on our campus. And then I think another big key that's really helping us and leading to this increase of enrollment, our students. They're talking, they're sharing their experiences. They're talking about the opportunities they have at our school and the wonderful staff that we have. So they start talking, the word starts spreading, and before you know it, we're almost 95 students ahead of where we were last year. And our current enrollment of 640 students is the largest that we know, largest on record in our school's history. And just 3 years ago, we were around 525 students. So we have the space, we have the teachers willing to accept these kids, and we love having the new faces on our campus.
I love that you have that new excitement, and good luck here second half, the rest of the year. Hope you have a safe and great school year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Right now, we're going to take a look at some highlights from around the country from Friday night's rivals. So take a look at these.
Mitchell with time, going again, looking for Butler Brown, over the shoulder grab. Butler Brown inside the 20, to the 10, touchdown Crusaders.
Earl, good blocking, sharp blocking for him. If this quarterback, he's gonna cut back. Oh, beautiful run, C.J. Earl.
With time, over the middle, has a man there. He'll take it in for the touchdown.
Joshua Reese is sacked. John Michael Crudup gets home. And Mount Juliet gets the football back with 1:48 left.
On the scrimmage and walking up on the snap.
Brady back, throws off his back foot. This is going to be intercepted. Picked off by number 10. Stayed on his feet after a missed tackle and will take it to the house. Touchdown.
Four-man rush. McIntyre into heavy coverage and intercepted.
Ronald Jackson back to throw, looks towards the end zone for Adams. Oh, did he make a catch? He did. Look at that. One-handed catch on the seat of his pants into the end zone for a Western Wilmore touchdown.
Is a highway. Life is a highway. That's the first one.
At East Surry High School, and what is going on here? Nick and Riley, both seniors at East Surry High School, and DJ Hargrave with the Carolina Classic Fair joins me. What are they doing over here, DJ?
So Nick and Riley are in the middle of the pretzel stacking contest. You know, there's so many fair foods that we all love, and honestly, pretzels is one of them. So this is one of the creative things that we like to do with the students out here, have a little pretzel stacking contest, and we have a nice little prize for them for whoever wins.
Early in the football season, we're late in August, but the fair is not too far away, is it?
It's right around the corner. It is September 29th through October 8th. It's going to be a lot of fun. The theme this year is Magic in the Fair, so we're just looking to bring a magical experience for all of the students and families that come out to the fair this year. It's going to be a great time.
And why is it important that you guys support high school football?
Well, it's important for us because, I mean, everyone that works at the fair, we all grew up going to the fair. This is an important part of the community. The fair has always been a staple part of Western Central Forsyth County and the Northwestern region of North Carolina for families to make memories with. So, you know, we want to support high schools. In fact, this year we're doing something new. We're actually having school day this year where you can donate 3 school supplies on Monday, October 2nd, and you get into the fair free of admission as long as you bring 3 school supplies. So, you know, we're trying to put the rubber to the road to actually show, you know, how much we care for these high school and middle school students in the area by doing things to give back to the community.
Last question, what is the key to winning this contest? I'm going with flat head.
Flat head and a lot of focus. You got those hot, bright lights on you, the cameras on you, the people behind you are watching. It's really about focus.
Well, if you saw it right there, Riley, the winner, she did it. She held on the whole time and then let go, and she won it, and she gets the stuffed bear. DJ, thanks very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be back with more Friday Night Rivals on My 48 right after this.
Congratulations to Riley, by the way, for winning that pretzel contest.
Yes.
Now, I'm not eating those pretzels, but I can guarantee it's good old fun with the Carolina Classic Fair. There's a lot of highlights in this first half, so let's dive in to what Mount Airy did so well, because Mason and Revels and this running game were off and moving.
Yeah, they started off the game strong with the football in the run game, and they just continued to go. Run, touchdown after running, touchdown, following behind blockers, keeping their pads low. This one was a dynamic play, just a pitch and catch, and then it was a 100-yard sprint to the touchdown.
That play was more yards than East Surry had the whole half.
Wow. This is another big play. Elmore was really just leading on both offense and defense throughout the first half.
And then the tailback takes it in, and Reed. Here's Revels.
This was a great play right here. He just opened up on him, and the next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
So the numbers are pretty drastic. Clearly the running game for Mount Airy has been good, and the penalties, too many for East Surry tonight.
Yeah, more penalty yards than they actually do have offensive yards. And so that's never a way to win a football game. Mount Airy has been doing a great job and doing what they do best in running the football.
I mean, 249 yards in a game is pretty good. Mount Airy's doing that in, 20 minutes? An offense that averaged 330 a game last year. It's like we showed you, 4 or 5 different guys that make it happen.
Yep, and when you can distribute the wealth like that, and the big thing is everybody's unselfish. So everybody is allowing whoever is the hot hand to just let the hot hand ride.
And that's something that Mount Airy's coach J.K. Atkins told us this week. It's a brotherhood, it's an atmosphere, and they want each other to succeed. Well, boy, we're seeing that tonight. They have done nothing wrong in this game.
That is a formula to have a successful season when you want the person beside you to succeed just as bad as you do.
And that's why Mount Airy's won 15 straight games. You know, their last loss was a year ago tomorrow. A year ago tomorrow. My math's not always perfect. Against East Surry. That was a 2-point game. A little different story here in the rematch.
A lot of different story. In so many different ways, like we've been saying, just from the age difference, 20 out of 21 starters coming back from Mount Airy. Yeah, that taste in their mouth is still there, and they're going to watch that out tonight.
And there's Trent Lohman, who will talk to Dave Gorin in a couple of minutes. This is the learning curve now if you're East Surry, because these next 20 minutes, running clock, you're down a bunch, you kind of figure out about your team here in the second half.
You find out who has heart, because at the end of the day, it's about not quitting. As long as there's time on that clock, you still got to play football. Play with heart. Play to finish the game. You might have not started the way you want, but you can definitely finish the game strong.
There will be a lot of new faces in this second half, so we'll kind of figure out names as we go and fill you in and keep you updated, including that man who was taken out, Hatcher Ham, with an illegal hit. We'll see if he comes back in the second half.
Yep, if he comes back in, I expect him to have his head on straight this time.
And he'd be like the Tasmanian devil out there trying to make every tackle in the 1,000-acre woods.
Hey, it's just one play at a time. If they want to make a comeback, they have to do it one play at a time, execute one play at a time, and go from there.
Dave Gorn, it's all yours.
Thank you, sir. Coach Lohman, down 42-0. What was your message to your guys at the half?
I want to see how we come back out now. You know, we've been on top for several years, and it's easy to play hard and have fun when you're winning big. I want to see what our integrity and our character is now.
You told us yesterday that you know you have a young team, an experienced team, and you like that challenge, as most people in athletics do, right?
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, there's peaks and valleys, and in the valleys is when you grow the most. So this team's got an opportunity to grow if we keep the right mindset and keep working.
Good luck second half, and hope we punch a couple in there.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Trent Lohman, head coach of the East Surry Cardinals. A long uphill climb for them, but we'll see what they can do. Let's go to break.
Welcome back to Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. Gearing up for the second half. J.K. Atkins kind of gave us a hint that there could be some subs coming in for Mount Airy. Same thing they did in the first half. And remember, Mario Revels is one of the backup quarterbacks, so we might see Mario a lot more in this second half.
Ooh, we'll see if they put him at quarterback. That'd be really interesting to see. But like right now, they're going to get the opportunity to see what their twos can do and actually begin to build the depth as they go through the rest of the season.
Meanwhile, East Surry, who's a few weeks away from conference, that'll begin September 22nd. I think Trent Lohman said it best at halftime. He wants his guys to adjust and adapt to these adversities.
Yeah, what he said to me that stood out, he said, in the valleys is where you grow the most. Right now, they are in the depth of the valley. So let's see how they grow and work through that adversity.
They are at the bottom of the mountain. Can they get it to the top of Pilot Mountain?
You have no choice.
And remember, East Surry elected to receive the ball first, so they'll kick off to start this second half. Two rivals separated by 20 minutes. A little different on the scoreboard, though, through 20 minutes.
Yep.
And now the clock runs and we get underway. A return for Mario Revels. Uh-oh. Don't go that way, Mario. Good tackle there by Jackson Bottoms on the stop. Top 5 name in high school football.
Jackson Bottoms, yes. There's a way for them to get down to the football. Make sure he didn't, when he has the ball in his hands, he can go the distance anytime. It's a good job of bottling him up.
So once the snap starts, the clock runs. Actually, it starts running now. And there will be a lot of new faces in for Mount Airy, including the younger brother of the starting quarterback, Ian Gallimore. This is young Landon, the junior quarterback.
He's up next. Let's see what he's got.
This is the future of Mount Airy football right here.
Get to learn from his brother.
Gallimore feeds his tailback, Martin. And Martin is still alive. I mean, that's effort in the second half, up 42 to get 3 yards.
Yeah, he's trying, but you know, once they got that ankle wrapped up, it's really nothing you can do. You just got to go down, but that effort, like you said, is there to show that just because they're winning big doesn't mean he's not going to stop fighting.
And now big brother with his other siblings get to watch younger brother Landon play quarterback. What a neat moment for this family.
I know this is very special. That's something that they're going to always remember as time goes on about the legend of their family name in this program.
Both have won state titles last year on the varsity team and look to win back-to-back tonight.
That's real special.
Probably nothing more than running the football the next 10 minutes for Mount Airy. There's a toss to DJ Joyce. He's got the first down, trucks the man, and he drops the B button, and then the truck stick.
Might have hurt himself on that one. Tough run right there. He may have hurt himself on that one.
So that is the one time we do stop the clock for an injury. I wonder, because if you see that again, like did DJ, when he went in for that hit, did he go with his helmet or something?
I think he might have lowered his helmet a little bit. Could have had some contact right there. Oh, he's limping though, so he might have.
Well, that's the challenge of having a young roster like this.
He can run the football though. Coach Atkins spoke highly of him as well, but he ran lowering his shoulder right there. May have got that ankle rolled up right there and came down wrong. A little ginger on his way up.
Took on the quarterback on his way down, Will Jones. So Joyce exits the game. And now the third stringer, Nasir Lemon, the tailback, comes in. Let's see how sweet he is in the backfield. Instead, the savory inside handoff to Martin. Ooh, Tayshawn with a nice little move. Martin stays in play. With a flag down, Martin's inside the 15.
It's a good run right there. One thing they can do effectively, and it's showing that they can run that football. Got some laundry on the field, maybe a hold.
Well, I was going to say maybe like a double load or an extra large load or a little bleach.
Oh, no flag.
Ref has picked up the flag. Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands Home Health. Hands-on, compassionate care around the clock. Like the caring hands of our lead referee, Ross Folger, saying, no worries.
No flag.
No flag.
No flag. Picks it up. It's a good run. Good game right there.
Turns into a 34-yard run as opposed to a penalty.
Tayshawn Martin is doing a good job of keeping the run game alive. It's showing that they have depth. That is what they are working right now. Their depth in this second half if you're Mount Airy.
7th drive of the game, 6 touchdowns for Mount Airy tonight. Now an inside handoff. Martin is loose. Boy, he is untouched until the 1-yard line and dives in for another rushing touchdown.
Yeah. Martin made that look easy. That whole entire drive, he made it look easy. He brought them down the field. He was rewarded with 6 points.
J.K. Atkins was really big on this Martin running back. He said, watch out, he's electric.
He is. He's electric. And the thing about him is he's young.
He's only a sophomore.
So he's got time to develop, get bigger, get better within this program.
I think we know what next year's Friday Night Rivals game is like when these teams meet, if they go for a third. It's like those Pacquiao-Mayweather. You get the first fight, the second fight. Maybe the third one's Montezuma's revenge for the boys in red.
More like the Rocky movies. It just keeps going.
What a quick drive. 4 plays, 65 yards. And we'll go to break. All Mount Airy tonight. Quick 49 points for this offense. Welcome back to Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. Remember, coming up in the fourth quarter, stay tuned and find out who's tonight's Carolina Classic Fair Player of the Game. The Carolina Classic Fair, there's magic in the fair. Who's your guest for Player of the Game?
This is a really tough one. I'm thinking I'm going to go with Mr. Mario Revels, probably. That's my guess for Player of the Game.
You're hedging your own bet. You picked him as the player to watch coming in. That's wise beyond your years, Matthew Gibson. Alongside the former Denver Bronco and Wingate standout, I'm Evan Budrovich, intramural slow pitch softball champion.
I love it.
It's one of my highlights. That kick is returnable and a live ball. So Stephen Keener from his own 2 finds his way outside. And this is where the test really kicks in now for East Surry.
It's the test of adversity. It's the test of will. It's the test of heart. When you finish the game, right? You're really not going to win this game, but can you finish strong and have some momentum going into the next game?
Also a reminder, next quarter, we'll highlight the West Shore home play of the game, which I hope is the Mario coin run up the sideline. That would be pretty cool. Just a thought to the tape op. You know, we got a lot of options, so I'm going to put my vote in early.
I loved your voiceover for that, the Mario voiceover.
So there's an opening handoff. Nice hole for Matthew Edwards, and he'll get a first down. Remember, the clock does not stop because of the score situation. That's a Crescent Ford first down. Crescent Ford of High Point serving the tryouts since, check this out, 1970. Wow, a lot of history.
Yeah, a lot of history right there. That was a good first down that they got right there. It's also a test for Mount Airy's second string defense, right? They still got to be great, and just because the first string comes out. So there's going to be a good test for them, and also let
young D linemen like Colin Hyatt, the junior, and Tyler Grant, the junior. Linebacker William Pinson, the senior. A couple of new faces. There's the first down carry. Edwards gets outside. And Edwards has the first down. Nice running here.
It's a good learning moment for East Surry right here. Be able to put plays that you want to effectively run throughout the season and see how it feels in order to get the first down.
Now we have an injured East Surry player. I will say Matthew Edwards may be earning some touches next week if he keeps this up.
Oh, yeah, he has to. He's doing a good job right now. Big chunks.
We'll take another timeout, check in on the injured East Surry player, and come back. We'll have the rest of the third quarter when we return here in Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. There's Tommy Ledesma getting back to his feet. That's good news. Stay tuned. Next quarter, we'll have our Linder Turf and Tractor scoring summary. You guessed it, a lot of rushing touchdowns for Mount Airy tonight. You can score a great deal at your next Kubota at Linder Turf and Tractor, coming soon to Greensboro on McConnell Center Drive off I-40. That's on my way home tonight.
All right, you get to see that. You going to pick up a lawnmower?
You know, I'll be honest, I pay for someone to cut my grass. I'm that kind of person. But, yes, I would appreciate a good Kubota in my garage. Here's a run for the quarterback, Bruner, and he goes up the middle. You know, I cut the grass for the first year I lived in it, and then my fiance said I didn't cut the grass straight enough. So I got evicted and turned into a pay for someone else to do it type.
Time to hire you a professional.
You know, Trent Lohman cuts the grass here at East Surry, and we talked to him on Zoom about 5 minutes after he finished cutting the grass. It looks great tonight.
It does. It looks really great. One thing high school coaches they're very particular about their grass. That's their baby.
Hey, having good turf's important. Remember at Mount Airy, there was an entire fungus that started growing in the spring. So Coach Adkins called his friends at NC State. They did a whole inspection of the turf. They evaluated the turf, and Now they got a brand new field basically because of all the issues they have with the fungus. Speaking of issues, it was now the 9th penalty for East Surry.
Yeah, it's not what you want. You got to hold your water, first of all. It's been bugging them the whole entire game. Most importantly, you can't have more penalty yards than you do offensive yards.
Yeah, East Surry in that first half, 61 total yards, more penalties than yards. And now against the second stringers on defense. Here's the handoff. Good run outside. And Braden Snow gets about 5.
Cardinals trying to find their rhythm offensively. Honestly, this is probably the best that they.
How valuable would a touchdown drive be here?
Oh, it'd be everything for them. It'd be great for their confidence. They need that right now.
After punting 5 times, a couple of turnovers in the first half, this would really change the course.
Yeah, it's going to give everybody on this drive, the second string Mount Airy, Granite Bears defense is going to be able to see their weaknesses, but also at the same time, offensively see where they could be, where they can get better at. They need this. 3rd and medium.
Ooh, the handoff goes nowhere. Good tackle. D. Dawkins, the junior, rides him to the ground.
It's a great job breaking through the offensive line of scrimmage.
And then D's like, wait, I'm on special teams now too.
He knows better than that. You don't come off the field, sir.
He was yelling, Debo, like he took your car. Okay, D looks exhausted. You can tell he's like, I just celebrated that tackle and I got to get back on special teams.
Yeah.
Josh Key, the busiest man in red tonight. And there's Tayshawn Martin, the dangerous return man.
I tell you what, if he gets an opportunity to return, I wouldn't be surprised.
There's the opportunity.
Let's see if he gets it. Oh.
Martin evaluates. Whoa! Martin jukes. That's not a flag. There goes Martin. Here he goes. Tayshawn Martin. Another flag. Okay, that'll bring it back.
Hey, I called it, though.
Unfortunate, because Tayshawn Martin earned that touchdown.
He did. Made a couple guys miss.
I have an issue with the first flag, not the second flag.
You know, honestly, I don't know if I saw the second one either. But we'll see. The eye in the sky does not lie.
I think the second one was the block in the back.
It was a block in the back. You saw that? Okay.
I don't know about the first one.
Thought it might have been a hold or something.
See, the first one to me was Martin with like 4 red jerseys around him, and then a flag.
Yeah. It's like
unless there was a face mask and you decline it.
Like trying to get away in a phone booth.
You ever been to a phone booth in London before?
I have not.
So I was in London this summer, and the phone booths are historic, right? But they're so small, you can't fit a second person in them.
Wow.
So when you go with your partner or your friend, it's kind of hard to get that selfie in the phone booth. But the underground's great. You can really get around town quickly.
I love it.
Let's see if Ross Folger can figure out the traffic. Dave Gorin, entertain us, my friend.
Well, that's exactly what I planned to do. You know, we talked to the coaches yesterday, as you alluded to, Evan, and I think we spent more time with J.K. Atkins talking turf management, agronomy, soil samples, sending them to NC State where they were analyzed, and I learned a lot. I'm ready for a second degree.
You know, Dave, you bring up a great point, too, because having good grade. Where's the flag?
I don't see the hold.
It was one guy.
I don't see the hold.
He juked 4 guys. There's no hold there.
I don't see the hold.
And I appreciate what referees are doing. I don't mean to put referees on blast, but there was no hold there.
Yeah.
The second one, sure. Maybe the block in the back, you know, that can happen. But
it looked clean to me.
Tayshawn Martin says, I'll take around receipts.
Right.
Take him to Safeway tonight.
Taking.
Landon Gallimore back to work, second drive. Inside handoff to Nasir Lemon. Ooh, that's a savory run, and he twirls for about 15.
That's a good run. He needs to protect that football a little bit. He's a little loose and low with it. Anybody could have came and punched it right out. But
after the Crescent Ford first down.
That's a good run right there by the young man.
Nasir Lemon looks like a quick twitch athlete.
He does. Looks like he is going to be somebody who puts on some weight in this program and also be able to make plays by the time he leaves it.
Well, the chili hot dogs I had at halftime could put some weight on you. Those were delicious from the concession stand.
I'm not sure if that's what they want to feed him, but hey, get them 2 of those a day, he probably will put on some weight.
Right now, Nasir's 163 pounds soaking wet. Quarterback keeper. Toss. Martin. Whoa, he breaks one. And Martin tumbles to the 25.
Martin is different. He has an innate ability to just stop and start. He's great.
But then the ability to elude tackling, too. That's not easy.
The thing I see in him is that he has great vision, so he can see where people are coming from in order to make them miss. That ability to stop and start and to be elusive comes from being able to see what other people aren't seeing.
Well, let's stop this broadcast, come back for the fourth quarter, and start our final frame. All Mount Airy for our Carolina Classic Fair Game of the Week, presented by West Shore Home. Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Caring Hands. Caring Hands Home Health. Your family's needs are our top priority when they're in our care. An all Mount Airy show here in the second week of the season, our first Friday Night Rivals game of the week. And now the backup quarterback, Landon Gallimore, placing his older brother in at quarterback, finds Nasir Lemon. And Lemon is spun down after a gain of 1. These are cool moments for both teams to figure out who in their second team can get playing time.
Yeah, it's like the peek into the future, right? 2 years from now, this is going to be an epic game. But right now, they are seeing these young players grow and develop and learn their systems.
That's Ashton Stevens, the sophomore, coming in. We had some crazy news tonight. Grimsley, who we'll see next weekend, and they were a national or state finalist, lost 47-10. Last week, and Reagan's battling a good Mooresville club.
Okay.
Or sorry, tonight Grimsley lost.
Who they lose to?
They lost to Rollsville in Raleigh.
Okay.
And then Reagan's in a good battle with Mooresville. So next week's game, Reagan and Grimsley could be interesting.
Yeah.
Next Friday at 7:30 right here on I-48. Quarterback keep. Whoa, fumble. Oh, here we go. Mount Airy jumps back on top of it.
That's that inexperience right there, quarterback. You don't pitch that ball. You just eat it. You put your shoulder down, and you get what you can. You don't pitch that.
That's like a Pac-Man when you throw it out there, and then all of a sudden they chomp, 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 and they come and eat you up.
Yeah, they was looking for that. They was looking for the ball. They should have got on that ball, but that's just going to be a learning curve. You don't pitch that football right there. You hold it, and you get what you can.
Landon learning from his big brother, Ian Gallimore, who accounted for over 3,000 yards last year as the state-winning championship quarterback in 1A football.
It's a lot of yards.
Both running and passing, such a threat. And then he was the best tackler on defense. Okay. Okay, 3rd and forever here. Got to get to the 18. Here's a lost snap and a sack. Good sack there by Lucas Chappell.
They gotta do a better job of protecting that ball. That ball's probably getting a little slick out there, touching the ground a little bit. But
Yeah, the center having some trouble there on the snap.
Get that snap up, got to get right. Wiping those hands off, you see him doing that.
So for the first time tonight, a punt for Mount Airy. Walker Strop comes into punt. He has Division I opportunities as a kicker and a punter.
I did not know that.
He's been offered by a couple of schools, unofficially right now. Whoa, look at the effort there by Chappell. He tried to olay
I think he might have tipped that.
the wall.
Coaches call that the double thud. That's what you're looking for.
I know the Notre Dame Cathedral's under construction, but the chapel here in Pilot Mountain looks pretty good.
That was a good one right there. That was he.
But think about it. A sack and a blocked punt on back-to-back plays.
They're trying. Like you said, we talked about at the beginning of this half, that heart.
If I'm a coach, I'm playing Lucas Chappell next week.
Yeah, I want to see that. He didn't quit. That's the type of effort that you need all throughout the game from every single person on that team.
And he's got teammates coming up to him pretty much every time after he comes off the field.
A lot of reasons to not give that type of effort. But that's great right there. Shows you that he wants to be out there and he wants to win. He has a winning mentality.
So Luke Chappell, who had an older brother who was a monster in the East Surry program, now he looks to etch his little bit of history. First down handoff that goes nowhere. Mount Airy's defense, even with the second string in, they have been impressive tonight stopping the run.
Yes, they have been, but I think I want to give credit to the turf monster right there. I think he slipped up on a piece of grass and got caught, but that was a great job by the defense setting the edge, not allowing East Surry to get outside.
And there's Trent Lohman, the offensive guru who drew up 42 points a game last year with Folger Boaz, the player of the year in the state. Here's the next lineage, Luke Bruner, who's an all-conference baseball player too, very talented. But a little off on the same page with his receivers. And you hear coach saying, hey, Banks Johnson, you got to do X, Y, and Z, right? And when you're brand new, that's a hard adjustment.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, you just got to be focused on what it is that the coach is calling and be in tune with what's happening, but it's a learning curve.
Not many reps for the second and third stringers, especially this late in the game. Oh, there's the snap.
Yep, little false start action.
I wonder how they'll explain this. Is it false start on everyone but the center?
That's what happens. You got to be in tune. Know your snap count. You hear him coaching them up. A lot of patience.
Trent Lohman, 2019 state champ with Jefferson Boaz, lighting it up. He set a record in that game for passing touchdowns in state championship history. He was slinging the rock around against Tarboro.
Just trying to win the game.
Mount Airy just beat Tarboro last year, so a lot of history for these two. And a good tackle in the backfield there.
Two historically competitive teams on the 1A level.
You think in the last 5 years, there's been 4 state title berths between these programs. So that sets up third down. There's a lot of good 1A, 2A football right here in the Pilot Mountain in the Surry County.
That's what a lot of people sometimes like to sleep on these 1A teams because they might be smaller in size, but these teams are traditional, die-hard, community-based football teams. So they live and breathe football.
And delicious ground steak burgers. Let's not forget.
We can't.
Some of the best meat in town. So a 3rd and 18. Remember, it's a running clock. A little out route. And a flag. It must have been a face mask, I guess. With a completion there to Jackson Bottoms. There's my favorite name.
Jackson Bottoms.
From Bikini Bottom.
Yes. Heard he's very familiar with Sandy and Patrick.
Dave Gorin, take it away.
Well, since you were talking about food, I have to tell the story I told you guys when I was here back in my local TV sports reporter days, and there was a playoff game here at East Surry, and we were out in the parking lot doing a live shot at 5 o'clock, and all the people tailgating were inviting us to sample some of their stuff. And so I had a sausage biscuit, and it was delicious. I mean, I'm talking the best I've ever had. And I happened to mention that to the people there, and the guy running the tailgate said, it ought to be, it was walking around yesterday.
Fresh.
That's right.
That's farm to table on a whole new level.
Yeah, that's what you want, though.
I'd rather have it fresh than not.
Yeah. Said it was walking around yesterday.
Dave Gordon, of course, a longtime reporter here in the Winston-Salem Triad area, so we appreciate his insight and his expertise.
Legend.
Well, that's a good punt. That's a coffin corner. We'll take one final timeout and come back to wrap this puppy up. More football when we return from Pilot Mountain, North Carolina. Here is tonight's Carolina Classic Fair player of the game. It's me, Mario.
Mario Revels, my guy to watch for at the beginning of the game. He balled out tonight. Anytime he had the ball in his hand, he was like lightning in a bottle and ready to score. Great game by this young man today.
With his buddy Luigi, the quarterback, tossing it out. Mario takes advantage. He gets by Bowser, his arch nemesis in East Surry.
I love it.
And now the younger brother goes to work. Final 3 minutes. We have a running clock. Oh, watch out for those ankles.
Yep, they always say keep your feet moving on the football field. Never want to have them stop for that reason.
Good look at Mario Revels, who was more of a defensive standout last year. But if he becomes a big running back threat, this will expand the offense.
I don't think it's an if. I think it's a now. It is. It is. He is a threat. Wide receiver, DB, running back. You put the ball in his hands, this man is going to make a play.
We'll hear a lot more from Mario tonight with our play of the game, too. So don't sleep on Mario.
Oh, I'm excited to see that.
A Nintendo 64 drop back in the early 90s. As a kid, that got me busy.
Got to blow out the cartridge every now and again.
Yeah, if you blow on it, I guess it works, right? Little did we know. Final 3 minutes of this regional rivalry. Good run for Tayshawn Martin. And he stays inbounds and gets the first down. Wow, that was a tough 8 yards.
Yeah. He is the young one in that running back core right now. So they're giving him the reps to let him get better and just keep going. But he is explosive. That is an explosive young man. I could just see it.
Martin's already at 90 yards before that carry, so it was very close to 100. Might have just crossed it on the drive.
He had to.
Busy night for tailbacks. 400 yards offense and not slowing down. 424 exactly.
When I was in high school, anytime we rushed over, I would say anytime we rushed over 300 yards, our coach would take us out for wings. So I'm sure they probably have some type of wager with the offensive line for getting good yardage.
No yards on that one. Right into the line of scrimmage.
Number 4, Tayshawn Martin.
And outside of one drive where Mount Airy punted, it's been a perfect offensive night.
Yeah, it has. They are a well offensive machine. They don't really fall off even when the twos come in.
28 carries, 365 yards, and some binoculars now in play for Caleb Reed dishing in the plays.
You need to give him a pair of yours.
I got the mega ones, the bushels.
You can see to the moon with those.
You can see to the beautiful sunset we had tonight here in Pilot Mountain, a historic home for high school football.
Speaking of the moon.
You ever seen the dark side of the moon?
The Transformers movie, that's the dark side of the moon that I have seen.
You don't want to go there, trust me. What a pleasure to be here in Pilot Mountain tonight. We want to appreciate everyone's help setting us up. Mount Airy will snap a 4-game losing streak against East Surry and now win its 16th straight game.
Yeah. They have a lot of momentum. Like I said, that is the invisible force. Momentum coming off their state title, coming back into this place to wash the sour taste of defeat out of their mouth from last year.
And this will be the final play of the game, wrapping things up. Just a dominant performance from Mount Airy.
Yeah.
And these volleyball teams met last night. It was East Surry getting the win. On the football gridiron, a little different story.
Mount Airy was coming to get revenge for their volleyball team.
Quarterback Landon Gallimore takes the knee.
So younger Gallimore takes the knee, and what a dominant performance. Nearly 400 yards on the ground for Mount Airy, and an impressive 49-0 takedown to their nearby rivals. Mount Airy at 2-0, putting on a show tonight.
Yeah, great game. Just well executed offensively, defensively. They came and showed up. They knew the assignment, and they did it.
We'll take a quick break and come back wrapping this thing up from Pilot Mountain for our Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by West Shore Home. We have more after this.
Back in Pilot Mountain, where Mount Airy has beaten East Surry 49-0 tonight, joined by J.K. Atkins, the head coach at Mount Airy, and 2 games, pretty good so far.
Yes, sir. This is what we like.
What'd you like that you did tonight?
I thought we played a complete football game. Offensively, defensively, special teams. I thought we dominated all 3 phases. And, we got a great football team. We work hard. We got a great coaching staff. It's a product of all those 3.
Only 2 games in. Obviously, the ultimate goal is to get back to a state championship. What do you try to do week to week?
Our goal is to get better. We know that if we're a better football team than we were going into November, things will take care of themselves and we'll get to where we need to be. So our focus is to get better each week, focus on ourselves as coaches, players, and as long as that happens, it'll take care of itself.
And you know, when you win a Friday Night Rivals game, you get a trophy, and here it is, the Friday Night Rivals game winner, Mount Airy at East Surry. It even has a date on it, and it's right. August 25th, 2023, and Coach has handed it to the guys. So, guys, there it is. Congratulations. Good luck rest of the year.
Thank you.
And now let's throw it back upstairs to Evan and Matthew, guys.
To the victors go the trophies. That's the best part of these Friday Night Rivals games of the week. Let's talk about our West Shore home play of the game, because the man who has the trophy, Mario, was a busy man on this 77-yard touchdown.
Yeah, right there he just got outside, and everything else was a foot race from there. He was the fastest man on the field, and he was untouched once he got to the outside. Speed, 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 speed. I tell you what, speed kills. There's not a lot of players at this level that can run with that young man, and he showed it tonight.
A lot of scoring in our Linder Turf and Tractor scoring summary. Linder Turf and Tractor is your choice for Kubota construction and agricultural equipment in the Greensboro area. You can visit us off I-40 at McConnell Center Drive, and pretty efficient first half and then carrying it out with the running clock.
They did what they do best. They are efficient offense that knows how to execute, and they played a really well-rounded game.
Mount Airy snaps a 4-game losing streak against East Surry. That trophy's going to mean a little more on this battle of I-52. What, 15 miles apart? That's kind of fun when you can battle your best friends tonight.
Yep, it's going to be a fun bus ride home. They got to wash the taste of defeat out of their mouth from last year and keep moving forward for a productive fall.
2-0 start now for Mount Airy, and there were some big numbers running the football, because that's what we knew Mount Airy wanted to do coming into this game. And how about this? 358 yards rushing for the Granite Bears. They really just dominated. And then East Surry, more penalty yards than total yards. That's a hard way to win.
Yeah, it's a very hard way to win. And at the end of the day, this is a teaching year for East Surry, and they're going to take this film, learn from it, moving forward, going into next week.
Here are those final game stats. As you can imagine, pretty one-sided. But the big thing is the 2 turnovers forced on defense and then running the ball for 358.
That's impressive, and a majority of those yards came in the first half. So it's just imagining how they can grow as they continue to go throughout the rest of this football season.
What a dominant performance, 49-0. We do want to take a moment and thank our sponsors who make this game possible. So first of all, Capital Metals in High Point. You saw that trophy. That's fantastic. Cook Rentals for their high end zone views, and to Mountain Fried Chicken for our Cruise pregame meal. Fantastic stuff. Finally, of course, our participating high schools and their ADs and their staff, like Jason Dorsett, the principal at Mount Airy, and Shannon Duplessis of the home squad, East Surry, very important. Coming up next, though, next Friday at 7:30, that's the start of September, the Reagan Raiders host the Grimsley Whirlies here on My48 TV. For our talented crew, we thank you for joining us. Matthew Gibson, Dave Gorin, I'm Evan Budrovich, great production staff all throughout. It was all Mount Airy tonight, churning their way to a victory with Mario Brothers and a 49-0 win. We'll see you next week on our Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by West Shore Home.
All right.